Alrighty, welcome back to Baba Yaga's Dancing Hut, the Witch Hunters. Last session, the party were killing a hydra in the middle of the lakeland, and though it proved quite deadly at first, Grizz managed to weather each blow as his fangs injected doses upon doses of poison. The guy has probably got more poison in his bloodstream than, well, blood. Finally, Grizz went down, but he'd already chopped off a number of heads. The things kept regrowing, and as the legends were recalled, Dyer mentioned that fire was needed in order to sear the wounds closed such that these heads wouldn't keep regenerating. And so, with a few precisely aimed firebolts, the beast was weakened. It shot it away and seemed to start fleeing in the direction of the other doorway. Can't imagine a Hydra fitting through it, but we didn't get to discover if it would or wouldn't because it was cut down and its necks finally snapped uh, after a few stunning strikes, which really did put it out of commission. The blazing slam dunk of a smiting paladin put it in the ground. The resulting tension of the nymphs started to rise as they wanted to at least reward you, right? They offered you some some sort of reward, some treasure, some gold within their lake. So things got a little bit tense, as I think kind of you. What did you do? You did something to piss them off, but they started casting a series of spells back at you, and this caused a bit of a stir in some of the party members. You tried to stare them down, to try and ward them away, and as you stared into the eyes of one, you felt your body becoming cold. You felt as though you were falling into a lightless depth, like a bloated corpse, and you managed to just barely shake off the feeling as you saw kind of a light filtering from the surface above, Tanner's light, and then a flame kind of reignited your soul, returning the heat to your body, and you emerged from that horrific state just a moment later, and it seems you were back in the lakeland. Nothing had happened except a small smirk creeping up the side of that nymph's face. You decided to get away from them and returned back to. Where did you go after that? I'm trying to think. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. You pretty much recovered your wounds after a short rest and then started to decide where you were going to go next. You needed to find Lady Mora. She would know what to do. You went into the blacksmith. Vaughn gave you the completed bracelets, gives you a resistance to fire, Tanner. And he said the next time he wishes to see you, make sure you sharpen your blade. And heading down the wine cellar, you found not just Lady Mora, Sarask, Terik, and Iruka, all standing, conversing, coming up with some sort of plan to contain this shadowy creature, whilst you guys have been dealing with the more monstrous uh, physical threats. They've been trying to contain this mystical, demonic one, and they seem to have an idea, a plan was set in motion. Kesseras believes that if this thing does have a mind, he may be able to stun the creature. If so, perhaps a powerful radiant source of damage would banish the thing. Unfortunately, they don't have the. Okay, it would normally be the paladin's job. It seems they've settled for Tanner in this instance. Regardless, just as they came up with this plan, you started to see the shadows creeping in. The lights dimmed to a dull grey. The sound around you became almost mute, a muffled sort of discordant fuzz instead of your normal voices. And the way of the winery has become steeped in darkness, and tendrils have creeped ever closer. I need everyone to roll initiative.
Wait, against.
As we're okay, as we're being okay. Wow, shit, just like that.
Just like that, yeah. That's why I ended it when I did.
I didn't know it was gonna be rated to combat. Fuck, I was thinking about like how I'm gonna talk my way out of this. Okay.
Wait, we're going against those four?
No, I
No.
think the shadows cam.
I was
The
gonna say.
shadow demon is made as.
So I didn't think you
Oh.
pissed them off that much.
Yeah. Damn.
Oh god, yeah. Sorry if that confused you guys. Yeah, the shadows are creeping close. That's why I left.
Okay.
Anyway, so whatever.
Yeah. I gotta remember if I
Um,
have. Okay, so I do have some guano, so I can
At
cast
this point,
fireball. I think.
Ivan is trying to escape the grasps of the shadowy tendrils. Let me just check something real quick. Oh god, yeah, he just manages to get away. He's... There he is.
Oh,
There's this
alright.
swirling pool of darkness beneath him, and he scampers away.
Yeah.
What that?
What a bloody hell, mate! God, I should have stuck with Grace. I know it. Should have stuck with a big man.
Get his armpit!
Where is he?
In the other room.
You. Okay. It is also. Should probably roll this thing on, shouldn't I?
Shadow Beholder.
Assailant. What?
All right.
Little boy.
Okay. We have at the top of the round. Surprise, surprise. Daya.
Yo, okay, so Daya is gonna move down here just to the edge of the end where the entrance breaks up or opens up,
Mm-hmm.
and can she hold her action until the thing gets close enough to melee range?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
I would
Do
like
you
to
wanna-
hold a quarterstaff attack if I can.
All right. Sure.
Uh,
All right.
I don't know what else I can. I'm out of key points, guys. So
You
Ooh.
actually.
Oh wow. That's
yeah, I
unfortunate.
spent them all on the Hydra because I thought we would have a chance to rest. So
Ooh.
yeah.
Well, you did beat that Hydra up.
Oh god.
It was
I'm out
spending
now.
like 2 key points per turn. It's not, you know.
Oh
But
god,
yeah.
I'm out of spell slots as well.
Oh geez, that's
Okay.
yeah. We're in
In
trouble.
that case, Daya, your attack would trigger right now as the shadows
Ooh.
have crept in.
Is it a physical something that I can hit?
It does not look like that. Its shadowy tendrils look like they're kind of wisps of smoke at first, and then they sort of shape and what's the word? They sort of stretch along the ground, and then as they go up against the wall, it looks like a shadow was being cast against the wall. You know how I mean? It kind of goes and flows with the contours of the walls and stretches along it,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not sure if it's a smoke or if it's a shadow.
Is it just flat against the wall? Is there anything 3D in front of me that I can?
There's, it's
Okay.
at times it looks flat,
Yeah.
and then as another tendril comes creeping around the wall, you think it's coming towards you, but you realize it's actually just maybe a trick of the perception that it's kind of actually going across the wall instead. But you can, I mean, you've already heard the conversation last week. I don't know whether you need a recap of the details, but Kesseras mentioned that the thing is incorporeal, much like a shadow demon.
Yeah, I got that. So not much that I can do if it's all right. Well, I'll you know what? I'm gonna do 2 unarmed strikes because my unarmed strikes count as magical. So rather than doing a quarterstaff attack, it's just gonna be 2 monk hits.
Okay, your attacks just whiff straight through. If you do try to follow it and end up punching into the wall, you just kind of bruise your knuckles a little bit.
Okay. And is the thing in the doorway, is it coming, I guess it's coming closer, getting darker?
It is, yeah. There's this emanating darkness that accompanies the tendrils. Almost like a a center force of it, but as Kesarek mentioned, perhaps this is its incorporeal state.
Okay. I am going to back up,
Okay.
and I would like to go into. Can I go into this room here with the armor?
Well, this was your held action, wasn't it? So
That was my held action. Oh yeah, so I can't move.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm
All
afraid
right.
not. No.
Damn it. All right. I guess that's it.
Okay.
I'm in
Sorry
trouble.
about that. You might be. We'll see how
Mhm.
bad it gets. Okay, it does reach here, and well, let's start off simple. And now I need Ember, Dire, and I think let me just check who else is in range. Tanner as well to roll me. I think it's a dex save. Let me just check.
Remember, you get a plus.
Sorry, it is a strength saving throw.
Strength saving. Do we still get the
Yeah.
+3?
I think Ember does. Are you in range?
That's. Fuck.
Does just Sarah need to make a save.
Okay. So this creature kind of moves up. This darkness emanates from it. There's a slight pulse, and then suddenly the tendrils turn into spikes. And as they push towards you guys, you try to like resist this effect going through you and spearing you, but I'm afraid Ember is a little bit too shook in the moment to evade them, and you are stabbed with this dark energy. Kind of just pushes through your very core. And I'm gonna have to roll some necrotic damage. Check real quick how much damage that actually is. 2 things plus. Okay, it's 46. Alright, you both take. Sorry, you only take half, so 10. So Tanner and Sarah and Dyer, you only take 10 points of necrotic damage, and Ember, you take the full 19.
Oof.
And that is going to end its go. But Grizz, you're up. Let me just grab some more.
That's a lot of damage.
Oh, it looks a bit like a Hydra.
It's very much not, Grizz. Make sure you hit it when it's solid, okay?
Damn it, Chris!
And watch out for the spikes.
Well, the tendrils are like in their spiky form. Do they seem like do they seem to materialize more into a solid thing? Or...
I wish I could say yes, but after they spear through Ember and just graze and just barely scrape the other two, they seem to then kind of go back to this smoky, almost shadowy form. Like what's it called? Yeah, incorporeal form.
What
They almost
the core of it like here? Oh no, like at the center of it. Is it like
the
like a center mass, or is it all like?
it does seem to be like a pulsing center of shadow that you can see where it's darkest, where there seems to be almost no light. But seeing into that is like just nothingness. You just can't tell a form or anything. It's just this core of black darkness.
Okay, we're still blind, so. Right, I can't really see it too well from here. Let me get close to it. I'm gonna rage. I'm gonna then take 2 swings at the darkest bit of it.
Oh my god.
Okay. I'd like you to roll to hit for these ones.
Reckless.
Okay. All right.
The first
15
swing.
just swiped straight through. No impact on no seemingly like solid core to it.
Okay, another.
And then roll again. And
So nothing.
once again, it feels just like as your axe flies through, it's almost like you almost go like full 180 swing as you expect to hit something and your excess momentum carries you around.
Can't hit it.
Get out of there, Chris!
I tried to tell you this.
Like, can you like maybe put some light on my axe? Maybe that will do the trick.
I can do that.
Tana said we can do it. Taro is up first though.
What is the disposition of Lady Mora and everyone else behind us?
So Lady Mora was a very worked up individual before this battle took place. You saw her fangs had elongated, her eyes kind of went bloodshot. And as you watch her now, she's getting even more pumped. You start to see her nails kind of extending into sharpened razor-like claws. Daruka seems to have finally put his pipe away and is doing something. His eyes are flashing, and he seems to be concentrating on some sort of mental spell that he's preparing. As for Terig, you see he is also about to cast some sort of spell, perhaps. Kesterask just looks like he's standing perfectly still, but you'd imagine he's probably doing a lot of mental juggling. But hard to read that one.
What can Tyro see from here into the massive? Is there any identifiable thing to target at all, or is it just sort of a generic, or not generic, but a sort of a generalized area of shadow?
So the more you try to discern into the center of it, the less you can actually see of it, because it's got shape on the outside where its tendrils are, but the further in is just darker and darker.
So if I wanted to target something, essentially there's nothing there that I can target.
Nothing you can see that you can target. If there is something there, then it might be hit by a spell, but you need eyes on your target if you want to do things specific, right?
Did any of the, just prior to battle being joined, did any of them articulate a plan about what they wanted to do other than sort of blasting it with light?
Us plan what?
Terry said that he would try to freeze time, but he said that the nature of this creature being able to, what's the word? Numb or nullify magic, he said it might not have its full effect.
Okay. And then what's this coming in from over here? Is this more of the shadow spilling in?
This is just to represent that the area around you has now become dull gray,
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
a general kind of muted landscape of its former self. Yeah, where there were color, it's now drained, and the lights have dimmed.
This brutalist architecture is not for Tyro. Okay, I think he's going to kind of back up here.
Yep.
And I think he's going to look at the professionals over here and say, well, I trust that you've dealt with this sort of thing more than I have. He's going to kind of nervously look around, and he's going to try to prepare himself. He'll cast Blink for the time being.
Okay. I would like you to roll a d20. Oh. Let me check. That's the good roll.
That's the good roll. That's not the bad
Yeah,
roll.
believe it or not, because
Okay.
it's something I should be rolling that, but I just made him roll it anyway. I could flip it on its head, but that just gets even more confusing. So no, a 2 is fine. You cast Blink and it works. Yeah, it should be me rolling that. I'll remember that from this point on. So
Okay.
for now, though, you cast the spell. It feels like it's a strain in your mind at first, like you're trying to. It's like almost the weave is kind of shrouded, and as you're trying to recall the spells and the components, it's Yeah, it's like you have to work really extra hard just to cast the spell.
I'll warn the other three. Since all three of them seem to be casting a spell, right? Except for Lady Mora.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll warn them. I'll say, "Watch out! It's straining the weave." And then I'll see if I disappear or not.
Okay, now you can roll another d20.
I do not. So I'm still on the material plane.
Okay, alright. Tarek. Well, let's hope that I'm just in time before the thing happens. You see, he pulls a hourglass out from behind his robes, and much in the same fashion as what you was experiencing in the vision, he holds it aloft, and you start to see sand pouring from one half to the other. And you see his hand sort of shaking as he's trying to turn it. You see a slight crack in the glass. There's a lot of mental strain, it seems, just to turn this hourglass sideways. And we're going to see what happens. Ooh, that's not good. Okay, you see the glass crack even more, and he doesn't risk turning it the whole way. He's like, "Ugh, it's no use. Thing has seemingly disrupted magic before I had the chance. I risk not breaking the timing of this hut." He tries to back away. Maybe some distance will help. Uh, he holds this cracked hourglass in one hand, and the grain continue to fall. That's annoying. Ember.
All right.
Time to redeem yourself.
Chris, Doc, and I will blast a fireball the entryway of this
A fireball.
fireball.
Oh
Kaboom.
boy.
Big
Okay.
boom. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna have to hit Grizz, unfortunately. I'm gonna try to make it doesn't hit Dia though.
I'd appreciate that.
Kaboom.
I mean, can we see
And
all the way into the thing?
I think he can. Yeah, the door is open. If he's like targeting it in the winery, so it kind of spreads out.
yeah, I want to try to avoid hitting Dia. That will be cast a spell.
Maybe a
Soon we'll
bit.
be using Foundry, and I can just click on a little thing at the It's so good.
Something like that. Is that what you're trying to
Kaboom.
do?
Yeah.
Or Grizz?
Well, I want to make sure that I get it into like the center area, so because I think there might be something there. I will also roll a d100 if I'm able to cast a spell. Do I seem to be interrupted like the wizards were?
Okay, yeah, good point. I need
As
you.
a sorcerer,
I'm gonna roll a
still?
d20. Let's see what happens. It does cast. You're good.
Okay, so
The
I
fire
am
emits from your hands as easily as it would normally, but it feels like you've been a bit drained afterwards. Like it took some extra effort afterwards. The fiery explosion emanates, clipping. If you want to go for the center, I think it will clip Grizz. Like if it's either that or that.
Not that much light.
Get down, Grizz! Hoping that your danger sense will kick in.
Okay, he's doing it.
It's gonna hit Grizz.
Okay, Grizz, make a dex save with advantage. Oh, actually,
And the wild magic is a
unfortunately you're
3.
blind to it, aren't you? Because you're still afflicted by that horrible curse.
Yeah.
Okay, just a flat roll then, and that's an 8. That's a fail. So in this, you're still taking half, right? Because you're raged. Man, that was a powerful fireball.
Well,
Wow.
I don't know if fire. Calf.
Okay. Let's see. The fire explodes in quite a dazzling array of flames, but as they get closer to the center, you can't see if it's impacting or burning anything. If anything, it looks more like a sort of a semicircle of a fireball. And as
So
the
something
flame-
to note here, Chris.
Yeah.
I rolled a 3 on my 1D100 because I was primed with Tides of Chaos, and a 3 says for the next minute you see any invisible creature if you have line of sight.
Invisible.
I don't know if that will play here. For the
I'll
next.
say you can roll a perception check. It's not necessarily invisible, but we'll stretch the
Yeah.
rules for a
Oh,
moment.
no, you don't have to stretch the rules. I don't know if it applies.
Just because I
I
want to
can't
see.
see it. I can't see it, but sure.
No.
it's-
Nope, I'm afraid. You peer into this thing, and if it was invisible, you wouldn't see anything. It would be just normal. But seeing that it's shrouded in this magical darkness, you assume that it must be there, but hidden from just manipulating the light rather than manipulating magic. Okay.
I will run away. 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 30.
Running away from it. Okay.
Protection if it's attacking.
Okay. Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it will.
So disadvantage.
Oh, our disadvantage even worse.
It'll still hit. 13's good. I don't have mage armor up.
Really?
Okay. Without the mage armor.
I couldn't
That doesn't-
cast it. The fucking goblin stole my shit.
God damn.
Okay. All right. You're taking 1d10 plus 8, and
1d10?
this,
You got this?
yeah, it is force damage rather than necrotic this time.
Oh, I don't have my amulet shielding anymore. Thanks, Grizz. Fucker.
As this tendril whips out towards you, you can feel something passing through you, but it's not like an impact. It's not like a tentacle actually hit you physically. It's almost as if it passed through you and like slapped the soul out of you almost for a moment.
Ah! Oh. You just see Ember wins.
Okay, it is Tanner's go. You just
How much
saw this
damage
creature
did- oh,
drink
7.
in. Sorry, what?
Okay, sorry. I just saw the damage to roll there. Bottom. 7.
Yeah.
It was a massive hit. So yes, Tanner, you just saw this thing drink in a fireball like it was nothing.
Yeah. So I'm going to, swoop up. Oh, fuck! What's his name? Bunny.
Oh, Ivan.
Ivan. I'm gonna
Yeah, I
swoop
think
up
he jumped
Ivan.
out. I think he's with Ember anyway.
Oh, if he's with him, but okay.
Yeah, he kind of like jumped up onto his shoulder probably.
I'm going to charge into the darkness, and I'm going to kind of like pad out for Grizz, and I'm going to make my way to his axe. And I'm going to use Sacred Weapon, and his axe now emits bright light for 20 feet.
Interesting.
And it's
And what else?
divine light. But it also gives him a +3 to hit.
Nice. Okay.
Shiny.
Yeah, so Chris,
right.
you probably just heard round and see see Tanner just trying to reach out for your axe. It's like, stay still.
Yeah, just swinging it round.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the power of Razio.
And now you can smite just like me, Chris.
All right. So
and yeah,
this light does seem to shrink down, maybe condense the darkness till it's small enough to note. Like it's a smaller section of it, but it's not like completely vanished, or rather revealed what's the center of it. But it's
Okay.
squashed it down to about a 15-foot, we'll say like a 15-foot area.
Oh, I wish I had lesser restoration for you, Grizz. But that is my turn.
Okay. Wow, all the NPCs are at the bottom. What's going on? All right, so Kesarask, he is looking for an opening because though he doesn't actually need to cast a spell, he does need to emit some magical energy. You must. You're putting yourselves in harm's way. And he looks across, measures out the distance here in his mind. I don't wish to do harm to your allies. Not today, at least. For now, we shall think of a more defensive measure. Shit. So he starts conjuring up this spell, and he actually pulls out a spell book, Tyro. You notice he flicks through one page after another with his tentacle appendages. And as he starts drawing from a line and reading it, or at least, I guess, hold on. You would have to speak aloud. So you hear for the first time its actual physical voice. And it is strange and aberrant. It's kind of almost got this discordant echo behind it. And as he casts it, I'm afraid you see this globe start to emanate around him. And much in the same way, Ember, when you saw those barriers inside the actual menagerie, the blue glow of the magical energy seems to slightly dull and fade, lighter and lighter until it's so thin. It's almost as if it was just like a gossamer curtain, and then before long, it just fades completely. Curses!
Spell just the fizzled after being
Fades
cast.
and fizzles, yeah. Meanwhile, Kesseras slams the book shut and actually moves up closer to the creature, to about here. That's enough for his move. 5, 10, 15. Yeah, that's it. Alright, Rakshasa. I mean, hey, it's gonna be. What am I doing? Close that shit.
What?
Screw you, Chris. Let's do this instead.
What's
No,
that?
it doesn't work. Okay, 1 second. Just to make
Wow.
things a little bit cleaner on the eyes. Let's do this. And let's do this. Shush. Okay. There we go. That's better. No, it didn't work. Fuck. Oh, that's why. It's because it's there. Show nameplate. Name. Sorry about that. All right. Where were we? Say nothing. Anyway, all right. Right at the bottom of the turn order. Let's get this done. Oh my god. What's wrong with me? Well, I have one way to deal with this. You see a flash to his eyes once again. The same thing he's been doing when he was talking and conversing with the party about the cards, the library cards. His eyes flash and glow, but it is a spell, so... Well... Damn it! We're really gonna need that radiant light after all. As his eyes glow, you start to see them dim back down to a grey.
Baruka! Come on, man!
And I can only do that once per day as well. That's a real shame. I was going to reveal its true form, but it's...
That would have been really freaking useful, man!
I can't argue with the dice. He's gonna back away.
That's a strong mood right there.
What?
You heard? Let's see. Lady Mora. Oh, yeah, she's on the turn. It's on 5. How did she get the lowest? That's incredible. She's actually quite dexterous. She must have rolled a 1. Jesus. Okay. Well, similar to you guys, she rushes in, doing the only thing she knows how to, and swipes at the darkness with long claws. You feel them kind of swishing past your faces, and the air is sort of displaced, but she doesn't get anything done with them. And her frustration only becomes more apparent. Ah! Curse this thing! Get it out of my hut! Cahoots, is he gonna do anything?
I suppose Goots will retreat a little bit farther back here.
Okay.
Who?
Probably about there. And and flap warily as he admires the action from afar.
Who?
Daya? Or ignoring your joke?
No, I was asking who.
Yeah, who? I get it. It's it now.
Oh, it's Cahoots. Okay.
I would like.
Are,
Okay.
are we like all like? Sorry.
I can't
Go ahead.
believe
think
this
we're
is the
all on
first
separate
time that we've had a who joke with all this owls talk in the,
I
in the
know.
hut.
I wasn't even
That's-
making a who
that's-
joke. I was
Oh,
just
sure you
like-
weren't.
Oh,
Um,
man.
Yes, so Daya, freaking out internally, she's gonna start to punch. She's gonna look like she's punching really slowly to kind of translate that so that the creature knows that it's coming. And while she's doing that, she's gonna kick it with like a monk. So see if she can provoke it into becoming corporeal.
Interesting.
I'm not sure how mechanically that would work, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to use my fist as bait, essentially.
Okay. So you can swipe again and try to make some attacks.
Okay.
This time like getting closer to the core. The core is still like in total darkness. So I'm gonna say you can roll these attacks at disadvantage, which is something I forgot to do for your turn as well, Grizz, but
Right.
we'll let it slide.
Okay.
So attacks with
All right.
disadvantage.
Okay. So let's try the 2 strikes. 21
Ooh. Okay.
and 9. Yeah.
All right. The first hit folds into a shadow that you feel like there's something there, and as you're pushing against it, it's not that there's something forcing against your fist, but rather it feels like your hand is being slowed in there, almost like you're going and punching through water.
Okay, that's disconcerting.
And-
do I actually hit? Is there anything solid? Like,
Nope, it just comes out the other side and then resumes the normal pace at which your fist would fly.
okay. And I guess it doesn't take any damage at all.
I'm afraid not.
Right,
Not that you understand.
May I please back up into the room with the armor?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Go ahead.
this is a magical thing that if I can get all the way to where the armor is the armor reacting at all? Like, are they
Oh,
are they
God, I totally
shivering? Are they vibrating, glowing, anything?
Yeah, and you just reminded me of something that I absolutely totally forgot last time. When Grizz was inspecting the armors, he noticed that there was tendrils of transmutation holding them together. And now that the shadowy creature has entered the room and nullified magical effects, you see those threads snapping one by one. And as you enter into this room, Daya, you are actually greeted with several armors who have stepped off their stands, pulled out their weapons, and are animating themselves, seemingly somehow by themselves. Hold on, here we go. Yep, you have some animated armors to contend with.
Are they aggressive towards me? Are they fighting me?
They look towards you and
Ah, crap. Yeah, I was hoping
Oh,
they'd be
boy.
helpful. They'd be like, tell us how we can help.
I wish that
Damsel in
was the case.
distress? No.
At the top of the
Would-
round,
I
the
would have
Uh,
enemy
seen that
armors
before
come
she
online.
walked in.
Yeah, you just see this happening. Basically, all of them are kind of like screeching and creaking, and even the center one has begun to lift up a longsword and a shield in hand as well.
just for my own sense of well-being, would this have happened if even if I had not run into that room?
It was happening, yes. You could
Okay,
hear
good.
Grizz,
Alright, I
Grizz
feel
was on the
better.
other side, noticing the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least I can hit these guys, probably, maybe.
So,
Yeah, that's my turn.
okay.
And
Kind of
but I will yell out to the others, the armors are alive! They've been released! And, we'll see how that goes.
God damn it.
plums. Okay. Meanwhile, back in Darkness Town, it looks like you three are the only ones in range, so it will unleash another Umbral spike attack. I need the three in the center to roll strength saving throws.
+3.
Yep.
That's a 30.
That's a pass. 11 is a fail.
That's a 14?
13. Oh, 14. Let me check the DC. Yeah, DC 16. I'm afraid you have just failed. So you take 14 half to 7 Grizz.
Yep.
And Tanner, you take 7 points of necrotic as well.
Oof.
And Lady Mora better roll as well. Actually,
She's immune.
nope, she's not. Okay. She's also taking this damage. She seems to grimace. It'll take more than that. This creature, whatever it is, seems to rotate and seems to try and get out of the line of sight of this light. So I'm gonna have you guys can make attacks of opportunities. It's trying to move around. Trying to move around Tanner, and it's gonna provoke attacks from everyone, really.
Biff. 27 to hit. I've been rolling really good.
Okay. That
but I have no
connects
spell
with-
slots.
Ooh. Yeah.
It's 11 slashing now.
Okay. And what weapon is this? Just your normal sword?
It's my
Oh, it's
longsword
longsword
+1.
Okay. You feel the sword slice through something very slowly, almost like you're cutting through, again, like water, but it passes out the other side with no bearable marks or bloodstains on the blade. As for Grizz, I'm afraid your axe swishes through and swipes around, not connecting with anything. Lastly, Lady Mora will do an unarmed strike. And it's no surprise what she is at this point, so I'll reveal it. Oh my
She's
god.
a vampire?
Oh my god.
What? I didn't know.
My god,
Come
this
on,
whole
Chris.
time, right under our
Spoiler alert.
noses.
Oh my god.
Oh,
how
wait,
did I
sorry.
not know that?
Who's a vampire?
Nobody.
Nobody.
No vampires. No vampires.
God damn it.
Dude,
No one dead here, never mind. Just that big
Okay.
old demon.
Daruk is the vampire.
It gets right in range of Ember and Tyro in the end. Just ending next to you guys.
Of
Exactly
course
You
it
are
does.
in range. That's ending its go. Grizz.
It's working. It doesn't like the light.
Well, sorry, is there a saving throw or anything?
Oh no.
Okay.
You're just submerged in the darkness.
Alright, Grizz is gonna walk up to here, kind of pointing his axe out like a walking stick. Try and get up to there.
Okay. You move right back into the core of this
And does the
swirling
creature
there.
seem
From
taking
your
a-
light, let's put an aura on you just so I can visualize it. Is it 20-foot light?
I think so.
Like that. Okay. Once again, then you see the light, or the shadows shrinking right back down to this kind of size. The tendrils seem to still be present, but it does flinch and seemingly move away from it, Grizz.
Okay. He'll swing at the very darkest, at what appears to be the very core of it.
Are you rolling reckless?
Yeah.
Okay, so this would be flat, effectively.
You also, Tana gives a +3 as well. Did you say? Use a sacred weapon.
Oh yeah, sacred weapon, right?
Yeah, sacred weapon gives you a +3.
Is that
to
concentration?
That isn't, no.
It's not.
Because it's my cleric. Cleric
Yes.
paladin thing.
A natural 20.
Oh boy. Well,
Nice, let's
hitting
go.
with the divinely empowered sacred weapon, you slice into something right at the core. This time, for some reason, it felt physical, and everyone audibly hears this snapping of bone,
So that's
and
20, 30.
you hear this kind of rumbling, this muffled kind of reverberating from it, like all these tendrils begin to twitch, convulse, and then snap like inwards, almost like the creature is imploding. And as each tendril snaps into place, it forms into a creature.
That was 38 points of damage, mad. Nice.
Oh
Fuck.
god,
14 total, +2 fire.
that hit forced it
Oh, damn.
into
What the hell is that thing?
into a physical form.
It's a pony.
It's definitely not a pony. If that thing's a pony, I'm a leprechaun. I don't know. You probably can't even understand me.
Oh, look, the bunny's trying to talk.
I'm focusing here.
Would destroying its form count as killing a unit?
You've forced it into a form, not necessarily killed it.
Okay. And then probably another swing then.
All right. Jeez. Okay. So the good news is you forced it into this form. Bad news is at the end of your turn, I'm now going to make a legendary action. Okay. Let's do this. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. Grizz, I need you to make a charisma saving throw. You see this bladed appendage stab forward into Grizz, and this weird inky shadow. You don't feel like an impact just hit you either. You don't feel like you've just been speared. There's something inside is creeping up your chest. A darkness, a shadow just going over and over, and before long, Grizz looks like a complete silhouette. And then the arm pulls back, and with it, the shadow kind of is absorbed into him. Grizz has disappeared. Tara, your go.
Grizz!
If you want, Tara, you can use your reaction to make an Arcana check, or anyone can, in fact, to figure out what the hell that just did to him.
Was that a spell or?
A spell-like ability.
Oh, okay. I don't think Tara will know then. So there's a thing we can see at this point. Is that right?
12 is not... Don't quite figure out what he's doing, but it's alien to you. Tara, did you want to make an Arcana check?
You said that would cost me my reaction.
It would, but then you'd get it back at the start of your turn, so it's kind of almost like no cost
that's
to you.
that's a good point. Yeah. Okay. In that case, I will do that.
Yeah. Okay. That to you, the way his form got spirited away and vanished. It looks like a banishment-like effect. An effect that would need to be maintained by the creature. Grizz is not gone forever. You imagine that disrupting him or perhaps defeating it would bring back Grizz. So he looked like he got banished to a shadow realm.
Does it look like I'm within? Like if I backed away, would I take a attack of opportunity? Do I think from this creature?
Yes, it definitely moved up to get in your range. So the squares it's occupying, it's like that. It's like a 3x. Actually, it's like a 3x2, but yeah, it is in range of you.
So is the space that's immediately to the south of me? Is that a space that it's also occupying?
No.
No. Okay. What do I want to do here?
It's like that.
I think probably the sensible thing is to Do I get the sense that in this form is it still having the sort of magic suppressing thing going on?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Everything around you is still that kind of dull grey. Everything's completely gone monotone.
So I guess
it looks so good in Foundry. There's actually a filter you can apply that makes everything go right. Oh well.
So I have a question. Let's say I cast Misty Step, which is a bonus action, but I don't get it off because the magic kind of gets quenched.
You could try Misty.
Well, would I be able to use my action to cast a leveled spell then, or if the Misty Step doesn't work?
If it gets nullified, you mean?
Right. Yeah.
Well, you'll have to find out. I'm not going to say yes or no.
I think that's all right. So I'm going to use Misty Step and see if that works.
Okay. It works, no problem. Not because it's in its form, but it feels like your spell is too quick, like the snap of a finger. And it's the nullifying effect is like this slow, creeping, straining. But this spell that you've managed to conjure is too swift and is not able to be nullified in time. So you know now bonus actions are safe.
Okay, I'm going to... have I seen what's to the north here through this door?
You have seen Baba Yaga go through a portal. It looked like an archway with a green kind of hue, but you have not seen what's on the other side of the door, no.
Sorry, that is the door through which we saw the green archway, or that is itself a green archway?
Baba Yaga, yeah, that confusion is deliberate, because when she went through the door, you're not sure if she conjured a portal or if she went through the door. So yes, that's deliberately vague.
I guess, and then remind me again where the doors to the east and west lead. I'm trying to decide which directions I might want to evade.
You have not been to the door on the west. You've not been through that, I don't think.
Okay.
Or have you?
Have we been to either of these stairs?
Wait, just thinking. This is 19. Oh, sorry. I think you have been through that one. The one to the west does lead back round to the basement.
Oh, okay.
And the one to the east you have definitely not been through.
Okay, I will retreat towards the...
And there's the door here is like glowing hot red as well. Oh no, it's not. That's something about it.
Oh, that door's hot red.
East one, yeah.
Oh, the east one.
That one's glowing
not
hot
that
red.
west one. Oops, let's drop that over there. So I'm going to move. So I was here. All right, so I'm going to move 30 feet here. and I'm gonna use 5 feet of my movement to go over here and open the door.
Okay. Yeah, you see it loops back around to here.
Okay. I'm going to. Can I like leave the door open and?
Yeah.
Look through it. Okay. So I'm going to just. We don't have to move me down there. I'll just. Can we just say I'm like, 10 feet on the other side of the door, essentially.
I'll put another tire there, so it kind of.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work.
Gives you vision.
And then Then what I'd like to do is, firebolt it from. Actually, no. I'm sorry. I would like to. Toll the Dead it and see what that does.
Toll the Dead. Okay. Wisdom saves. Excellent. Yep, that's gonna pass.
It sure does. Okay.
Its form is alien to you, and trying to find a way to decay it is a real challenge. Okay.
Alrighty. That's just Tara's turn.
Okay. Tarek. Let me check something. Yep. I used my biggest spell with no form of result. You know that walls of force can't contain it. Now that it has a physical form, perhaps I can banish it. Right, here it goes. Damn it! He tries to do a very similar thing to what he just did to Grizz, and unfortunately to no avail. This creature, its form is so immutable I can't transport it away. It's like it's tied to something here. Like it's the shadow of another being, and I'm not able to target that being. That's all he says. Ember.
Yeah, probably Cedric's shadow or something. I don't know. Maybe the fake witch in the well or something. I don't know. I don't know. It's Natasha, but she's not really Natasha.
I'll disengage and run 30 feet.
Okay. All right. Disengaging.
This way, right to the edge of the stairs. In pure terror, as my attacks are completely ineffective. And yelling at the whole way, yelling at basically whoever's listening that it's in continuing on with Tarek's thoughts that perhaps it's something to do with Sinvala or something. Otherwise, I don't know. That's it for me.
Okay. Meanwhile, Daya, you see the animated armors have started to come alive. They don't seem to discern friend from foe, even if it has any to begin with. But all you take note of is it rushes and slams into the back of you, and I think it's actually flanking from this angle as well because you're here. It's got a +1. Okay, so 1 hits. So you take 6 points of bludgeoning.
Okay. Can I? No, never mind. I can't do a reaction. Can I? Never mind. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Tanner, you're up.
Beautiful. Right. I mean, what do we really want to go for? Dire's screwed.
That's up to you. What do you think's best?
I got. Well, can I yell out?
Yeah.
I probably got these guys. Probably. You take care of that thing with the magic and whatnot.
Okay. Yeah.
Brave statement.
It's not at all how Dia would speak. Sorry.
I will charge forward and I will unleash hell.
Yes.
I mean, it would be good if the one who had the magical weapon didn't go anywhere.
Yeah. That would be good.
Right, I
Okay.
smite the... That's not gonna hit.
No, it's not. I'm afraid it brings up. Oh no! It brings up its claw-like appendages, and you actually feel a physical clang with the creature, like ting, and it peels them away from its form. That is unlucky.
You're finally showing some strength, demon spawn.
It stares at you with these beady, dotted eyes in amongst the black, shredded shadow, and you see some sort of intelligence to the creature.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Which eye am I looking at?
Exactly. All of them.
I'm just gonna be like switching between all of them, trying to make eye contact, but not too sure which one to make eye contact, so I'm just making eye contact with all of them.
Okay. All right, Tanner, that's your go.
Unfortunately.
At the end of your go. Why is this sheet messed up? Okay. We'll just go with the simple one this time. In that case, I'm gonna roll to hit. 19.
That is definitely a hit.
Okay. It's 8. You take 11 points of force damage as the thing strikes down, impacting your armor. It feels like it passes straight through it. It hits somewhat, you think, your spirit, and your light just falters just for a split second, and then forms back. Hit you right in the divine spot, whatever that is. Kesarash says, "Good. Now that you're out of the way, stand still." Kesarash gets close enough so that his mind blast does not affect you, Tanner, but that it does affect him. I'm gonna guess. Yeah, no, he's good right there, in fact. Alright. There is a wave of nausea in the room as a psychic blast is emanating and then focuses in and becomes a cone and washes over this creature. And because it's not a spell, it does not have this nullifying magic effect. We'll just see if it works or not. So a con save from this thing. Let me check. Oh, no, it is a con save. Intelligence save. Right, cool. That's going to be even worse for it. Yep, there's the natural one. Okay. So this blast of mental energy surges through the creature, and you see it freeze up. The shadow becomes almost completely still, as if it were the shadow of a statue, and it's stuck there. I have it. I have the creature still. Now banish it from this world. Quickly. Kesarask, you can see there is this pulsing vein on his forehead. His hood has flown back, and you see this kind of bulbous brain of his. But it's kind of like it's not just a brain exposed. It's like skin that's so taut against the brain that you can see the wrinkles in the skin. It is Daruka's go. Well, good job, Kesarask. Let me see what I can do. Tried that. Could try this. And he tries to dispel? detect. No, he's really not getting massive magical spells, but Nah, screw it. He's just gonna rush in and claw it. Oh, I don't think I have the spell for this, but I
You're a cat. Use your
I do have
claws.
Old Faithful. Yes, I know. I'm doing that. He comes in. Oh, this is so uncouth of me, but needs must. He claws straight towards it with advantage and gets 12.
Watch out, this kitten's got claws.
It's a little bit creepy. Am I even hitting the right part? Oh, this is just a wisp. Nope, he's not getting much done, I'm afraid.
I think you
Animated
should
armor.
probably stick to your spell casting.
Well, I used my big one at the start, hoping to end this before it began. Okay, meanwhile, Dire. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to roll that last one. I didn't mean to roll that last. It's only got 2. 6 points of bludgeoning, followed by 6 points of bludgeoning.
Yep. Okay.
And it's almost like these armors have just adapted the skills and proficiency of a veteran warrior, and you see them outpacing you, outmaneuvering you, and then just slamming their weapons into you. It is the creature behind you suddenly steps off the pedestal. This one wields a deadly-looking, sharpened blade. This is definitely not a ceremonial piece. And it comes for 2 longsword attacks at you. Oof. Okay. 24, it's a hit.
Yeah.
You take another 6 points. What's with them doing 6?
Ouch.
Okay. Lady Mora shakes off the necrotic effect. 5, 10. It's stunned, yes? Yes. Good. She rushes forward and goes to town with her claws.
Yes.
But I said you wish to banish it. Clawing at the thing is just going to... whatever. You're not listening. It is 5 points of slashing damage to it. And although it seems as though something connects, there's a moment where the shadow kind of shapes back to itself. It's like as she claws away, there's a wisp, a trail of it, and then it seems to get sucked back in, and now it's just a completely still shadow once again. Tanner, have you got anything? Try some radiant damage.
I'm completely tapped. And my only use of radiant damage has gone elsewhere.
Speaking of. Yep. Well, then we'll just need to break Grizz out of it. Hit it as hard as you can.
That I can do.
Cahoots' go.
Now that there's something to see, I think Cahoots will swoop in here and try to harry this thing.
Okay.
And then swoop back up to the
Alright. Giving advantage to...
whoever has the next attack.
Okay. Alright. Another animated armor steps forward. Poor Dire, she's getting it. This one. Oh no.
Can you change dice that you're rolling with? These are very unlucky dice.
Well, we can switch to Foundry. They might be more.
Next week.
Unfortunately, though, again, they do not feel like just a mage has conjured some strings to animate them. It feels like the souls of generals or veteran warriors have been trapped within them, and as they strike forward, they do so with deadly precision. You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
So these would be like the types of warriors whose armor you'd want to keep magically bound in your witch's hut, like
Oh,
not
sure.
just yeah. Okay.
Daya, it's your go and you're surrounded.
Yes, I am. I'm
One of
gonna
them-
take 2 quarterstaff attacks at.
Disengage.
Can I disengage?
Oh, I must have missed one. But yes, you can always disengage.
Is that take an action?
It does take an action unless
Okay.
you're a
Yeah,
rogue. or something.
I need to get out. I cannot survive another round. I'm
Okay.
going to disengage and go over here to on the other side of the staircase.
Okay, you will need to bonus action step of the wind, I think. Wait, what's your movement until?
I have 50 feet of movement, so I
Okay,
think I
never
can
mind.
make it. I think
Yeah, you're good.
I can get just that far, but that's my turn.
Okay. At least you're out of harm's way.
At least
Perhaps.
I'm at least I'm out of there. I can
Mm-hmm. Perhaps
Another
Lady
like
Mora.
one more attack, I would have absolutely died.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
Lady Mora sees you kind of rushing past. Ah, can I leave this one with you, Tanner? I've got these to deal with.
Of course.
Good.
Feel free.
At the end of your go, the last legendary action. Hmm. You haven't got anything else? No, we're just gonna go for another attack. Another scythe-like. Oh wait, no, I can't. That's not what we're talking about. Stun, as you were.
Oh, and when Lady Mora did the thing, did it have to make a concentration check to see if it could hold on to Gris?
Yeah, I did do that. That was the 19 afterwards. However, I just reminded myself of something else. 1 second. You just read it. Stun. Let me check the stun condition. Conditions. Because Grizz's turn's coming up, and this does make a difference. Stunned. The creature is incapacitated. And incapacitated means can't take actions or reactions. Man, you'd think I'd know this, but I'm pretty sure its concentration is broken.
Are you asking if an
Stun.
incapacitated target loses concentration?
I'm pretty sure it does. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Cool. Yeah. Just double checking. Okay. In that case, then Grizz, coming back around to you. Where are you? Sorry, Tanner. I'm gonna bust you out. so Tanner,
No.
there is it feels like a rushing wind right underneath you.
Okay.
And a moment later, the raging barbarian pops out and shoves you back, Tanner. I'll let you choose which square you want to move to, but Grizz literally burst out up from underneath you.
Whoa! What happened? Things got like really dark all of a sudden.
Where the hell did you go?
I don't know. It stabbed me and then it was like poof, everything was so dark.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't see much in the first place, but it got really dark. Anyway, back to business. Slash. Sorry, is it still stunned?
It is, yeah.
Okay. So that gives advantage on attack rolls, right?
Yes.
Okay. First swing.
2 seconds.
20.
Oh. Oh god. I like this. And your sacred weapon's still active as well. Which is really nasty things. Because as its turn passed, which is going to be in just a moment, you'll see something in a second. Your strike hits, connects, and a blast of light sort of emanates from it. And the shadow that was kind of reforming no longer does so. It looks more just like spilled ink in the air. It's frozen there. Okay.
You'll strike at the same spot as well if you can.
Okay.
That's 22.
Yeah, that's a hit.
23 rather. Yeah.
Yep.
That's a 16 on that one.
So you did 23 with the first, right?
25 on the first one.
Oh, 25. Oh yeah, because gives you extra damage.
Mhm.
Okay, and then how much for the second one? 16. Ow. Hold on. Let me check something. Yeah, okay. After that hit, you see the creature's guts have been like spilled out, but they're still kind of frozen in the air, like an oil spill.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
Tyro. I think it's your go.
Okay.
Because hold on, it's go after your. What's Grizz? Hang on. Hold on a second. I've got to roll something at the end of his turn. You can keep going.
Okay. I'm going to. I don't have any good portent rolls left, and it does have. It seems like it has very good wisdom saves. Am I out of range from its like magic draining thing, or how far out of range would I have to be for that to be a thing?
You are. Well, where are you standing?
I'm out of the room about
Out of the
10
room.
feet. 10 feet to the west of that doorway.
Okay. Do you feel like there's a slight tint of color in this room? You can see the dark browns of the mud beneath your feet, and there's even a flicker of torchlight that's visible from the top of the stairs, which seems to have color to it.
Well, that's reassuring. Okay, I will cast Analyzing Gaze to see if I can understand what's going on with this creature.
Okay.
That's a Wisdom saving throw.
Sorry, that was for the other thing. Wisdom is 25. Okay, that's the wisdom. The good news is
yeah.
it's still stunned after the at the end of its turn. Bad news.
I don't think stunning affects Wisdom
No, it
saving
doesn't.
throws. Yeah. Okay, so nothing happens, but I am now concentrating on that spell.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you just peer into the lights of its beady eyes, and you sense there is an intelligence there, but the mind which you're trying to peer into feels like it's elsewhere, and it's that
Okay.
perhaps same strange phenomena that Tarek was experiencing. It feels like it's the shadow of a creature. It's not here, not targetable. Anyway, end your go, Tarek.
Cool.
Okay.
I'm also going to recharge one of my second level spell slots since that's a divination spell.
Okay.
And that's it.
I'll do that. Well, if we have the creature still, he's gonna line up here and roll a spell. And it fizzles. Great. Not my day, I'm afraid. As spellcasters, though we'd know what to do in the normal circumstances, we feel utterly useless here. Yep, that's not gonna be any good for him.
I told you, just go smack it.
We couldn't do that before.
Hearing all the commotion and seeing. Oh, actually, first, as I'm running over to that point, do I see anything around the room that I hadn't? Like, I'll just quickly look around, seeing that he's, feeling his eyes, I guess, are seeing through ethereal plane. Do I see anything unusual in the room? I guess I don't know. It'd be
Okay,
too
anything out of
hard
the
to do
ordinary,
that.
yeah. The only thing you notice is the grey tones that surround you. Though the weirdness of this creature being both alive and also frozen. It's strange. It's like it's resumed a normal shape, or the rules of a shadow in this instance, but you're not sure what that shadow is connected to. It's yeah, you don't really notice anything odd or strange around the rest of the room.
All right, and I will attempt to cause our assailants some significant
Bloody
distress.
hell. Okay.
Uh,
Okay, I will need you to roll a d.
20.
Oh wait, I'll roll the d20.
Fuck.
Hold on. An 11. Mm-mm. 1 second. An 11 yeah, I'm afraid an 11 means you do not get the effect of the fireball spell. Seems even though its presence has been frozen here, it still has this aura surrounding it. And your fireball just goes out
Cool.
like smoke.
I'm going down the stairs. That was no. You know what? That was too much movement. I'll run back to my original.
Okay.
My turn. Exciting.
Okay. Not fun having spells counted, I know, but this creature is something of an anomaly. The animated armors are rushing out. They have to dash up. It is Tanner's go.
And it's still stunned.
I've got the creature held, yes. Strike it.
I'm gonna give it a daily dose of slappings.
Okay.
Fuck. 17 to hit.
17 is actually a miss, but because
Just
you're
on its
flanking
AC?
a Grizz, yeah, you will hit. And it's, yeah, you've got to hit.
8 points of damage.
Ooh. Okay,
And
still up.
second strike. No, 20. 18.
18's a hit.
7 points
Yeah.
slash.
7 points. Okay. Again, it doesn't feel like you're cutting into a creature that's dying. It feels like you're almost unmaking something. It's just a creature that's kind of now turned into more of a splat, like, of ink. All this black ink has just sort of shot in different directions before it leaves the body and flies onto the ground or splatters up against Grizz. It sort of just freezes in air again.
God damn it!
It's still standing. Right, Cassarisk. Well, let's have a look. He's done that already.
Does seriously nobody have any radiant damage?
I didn't know we were going to be fighting a demon.
Okay.
Then for now, we'll just have to blast this thing to pieces.
He will also roll. See if he can cast. Nope.
Damn it!
He flicks through a book, picks out a spell, points his finger towards the creature, and you just feel your hair behind you kind of waft a bit, Tanner. But nothing else other than that.
Okay.
Daruk, in the meantime, goes to town and Chloric. It's not my day. I don't really do this kind of thing. I read books. I'm just a librarian. Okay. Animated armor number 2.
So it is or isn't still stunned?
It is still stunned.
It is still stunned, okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I guess he would have had advantage. That's a good point. I hope the second one still missed, but +6. Okay, you would have hit with 1. What's his damage? 2d6 +2. Right. Look, I got something in. See? And you do see his claws actually flash with a kind of magic behind them. You have no idea if his innate claws are magical or not, but that definitely was unusual. As for the animated armors, they clatter up behind Lady Mora, as does the larger of the 5. I was going to use their action to dash. Yeah. Lady Mora turns around, seeing them surround her. Ugh, scrap metal. A lot of you. Yep, she's going to slice up some of these things. Whew. Okay. Right, she gets a massive swing at one of them, almost tearing the armor in half. Cahoots. Could help someone else.
Okay, I think Cahoots is gonna. I'm going to get those armors away from everybody else. That would probably be the most useful thing. Don't think you can go over there and reach them in the same time. I think Cahoots is gonna have to stay back. He'll keep flapping up there and retreat another 10 feet towards the back.
Okay. We are back to Dia's go.
Okay, Daya will use Wholeness of Body to use her action, and she can get 18 points of health back.
Mm-hmm.
And can I use a bonus action to kind of do a perception check on the creature?
Okay.
I kind of want to see where on its physical body it's vulnerable, and if every time it attacks or it gets hit rather, if I can see any changes in the magic in the room.
Okay, yeah, we can roll a perception check.
Been watching for that, trying to figure out how to get this thing.
All right.
Perception 14. Oh, I'm still on disadvantage? Or is it normal?
I don't know. Are you exhausted?
No.
Then
No.
that's just a flat roll.
Flat
Okay.
roll. Okay, that's a 22 then.
So, yeah, the emanating darkness around it is no longer there. The rest of the room is just in a dull grey, and everything is kind of muted and muffled. Though you can hear the battle taking place, it's kind of almost like behind a wall or two. The creature no longer resembles anything at all. If anything, it's just this. It's like someone grabbed a paintbrush, dipped it in oil, and then splattered it across a wall. But that wall is 3-dimensional and frozen there.
Hmm.
And the only thing left you can probably see of its form is it's like its legs on the ground, like holding it to the floor.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, that's it for my turn.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's been sliced up so much.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know if that
Again.
helped at all, but yeah.
Was that enough? Jesus. Let me check something. Okay. Ooh. Grizz, you see the creature is still frozen there, sort of splattered apart from your strikes, and suddenly you see it's slowly pulling the ink back to its body, and it starts to turn back towards you. It is moving once again. It is no longer frozen, but it does so very slowly. It doesn't look even half as menacing as it did before. But it is your go.
Okay. It's gonna step up here.
Mm-hmm.
So it has numerous eyes. Do any of the eyes resemble the Senrith?
You know, it's hard to tell because he always wore a mask, and all you ever saw were these kind of beady little eyes behind it. But
Okay.
as you're this close to it, you can also give me a quick perception check. 14. Hard to tell. It is very hard to tell. And where you've been slicing it apart, like you're trying to get an angle where you can see them clearly, but it's too much of a mess in front of your face.
Okay. You sort of crouch down and lean forward and do like an uppercut swing against his neck.
Okay.
Recklessly.
All right. Roll with advantage.
13 on the first one.
13 is a miss. It rears back its head.
20 on the second.
That's a hit. But it exposes what you only imagined to be its neck, but it's just a swirling pit of darkness. You just slice the axe across it, hoping that it's enough. How much damage?
It's 18.
18. Oops, wrong way. That's 18. I think he's on it. Oh. Yep, Grizz, you're sliced across the neck of this thing as it tried to rear back and avoid your first swing. The second comes around and catches it off guard. As you slice through, the creature just pulls into the floor and becomes this thick, slick shadow that creeps across it. It's almost like the whole image has just been flattened. And, well, it's no longer posing a threat. What you do notice around the room is the darkness seems to, well, not the darkness, but the tones of grey start to kind of wash away, and the actual room becomes much more saturated in color once again. And everyone notices this.
Well
Not
done, Grizz.
quite. Not quite, Grizz. That shadow on the floor, that pool, begins to swirl and spin, almost like it's draining away
Step on it.
into the cracks, into the floor. And as you try to stab down into it, you just feel the actual floor itself. You're denting the wood. And you have no idea where the shadow is sinking and swirling into. But you get a sense that it was less vanishing and more retreating. And Grizz, that will end combat right there. Except the animated armors, they all turn. Oh god, hold on 1 second. Well, the transmutation on them has been nullified. Lady Mora turns around and says, Tarek, are you able to put these things back in their stands? Yes, right away, Lady Mora. Just hold on a moment. It will come round to my turn. Tyro, do you want to do anything in this meantime?
Yeah, I actually want to get, I'll take 10 feet back into the room and then another 15 feet for my rest of my movement. I want to get closer to the spot where it seemed to vanish. And then I want to... I would like to ready an action to cast Mind Spike if I see it.
Okay. All right.
So I'm basically what I'm going to do is try to go into the ethereal plane and see if anything happens.
All right. Okay.
So I am on the ethereal plane. Do I see anything within 60 feet of me?
The ethereal plane. Yeah, there is something. It doesn't look like the creature, but what you do see is two scythes, and they're connected by an ethereal chain, like almost like a silver cord. The scythes are definitely metal like weapons. One of them looks like almost a spiritual weapon, and it's sort of floating there, and where they're both just about a foot or so apart, it looks like they were the claws of the creature. Like the way those appendage legs are. Let's look at the artwork again. Sort of had these two hands, right?
Oh,
They look like the two hands of the creature, and they're floating there for a moment, and then they begin to like float away, actually towards you, Tyra.
okay. Can I use my held action to cast Mind Spike?
You can, but you don't find any discernible creature there in that
Oh, okay.
space. It's definitely like an object or a, well, you would understand it to be like a spiritual weapon, but it
Got it.
floats through you, not making any attack towards you.
So I did actually cast a spell.
It doesn't activate because there's no creature there to,
Oh, okay.
target. But as you notice, these two scythes are kind of pulling away. One of them seems to be pulling the chain on another scythe. It's almost like one scythe seems to be more stubborn as to moving, and the lighter, kind of more glowing, almost like a divine light, seems to be yanking the one that seems to have this kind of umbra around it, this sort of shadowy, wispy essence to it. And as it pulls the other one away, it flies through this door here.
Intriguing. And where does it seem to be headed directionally?
Well, west. And then through that door, up those stairs. Sorry, not those stairs. The ones at the south, right here. Did you want to follow them?
Well, I can't really because it's not my turn anymore.
No, but we're not in combat either. So.
Well, it's one of those things where, like, I would. I'm sorry. When you say stairs, the ones to the south here.
Yeah, I'll just place snag by them. There.
Okay. I'll yell to everyone since I'm here, but on the ethereal plane. When I snap back out, then 6 seconds later, I'll say it's headed to the south, and then I will run through this door, and then I would like to just directionally follow it to see if I understand where it's going in general. And then I'll see if I go ethereal again.
Okay. All right. So Tarek rushes up to these, and he flicks through his spellbook, upcasts a certain spell, and seems to be tracing a line through the air. And he traces it in front of each of these animated armors. And, well, let's roll for their saves. Yep, all of those fail. And then this one. I doubt they're going to pass against this. Nope. All of them fail, as Tarek seems to upcast some powerful transmutation magic. And as the spell finishes, all of the armors stand to attention.
Good. Now, I'd like to return yourselves to your displays.
You see the armors turn on a dime and begin walking back. And they do so stiffly, almost as if they're being moved against their own will. And they all go up to their appropriate stands, turn around, and go silent, except for the occasional creak or straining motion, but it's not enough to be able to notice unless you're right up against it. Then you would hear the kind of rattling of the armor. But there we go.
Good. Well done. The creature is gone?
I think not gone, if my friend Tyro is correct. Perhaps retreated or hiding in another part of the hut, but not defeated. Seemed that there was little that we could do. Perhaps we should plan better. You as the expert, what do you say?
Whatever it is, it does have a mind. I was able to contain it, grip it. But I think, like Tarek said, there is something else. Some other being it is tied to. That I cannot fathom. Whether it is even still here in the hut.
Well, at least we've bought ourselves some time. Perhaps we can come up with a better plan. And Tanner,
Yes.
I think you might be a useful solution to this problem. The lights seem to have an effect on its form, revealing it, condensing it.
Well, if I manage to go into another fight with that thing after resting, I might actually have my full kit to maybe be able to deal with it.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that I can at least be of use and not a burden in the hut.
Lady Mora seems to be calming down. She composes herself, takes a deep sigh, and seems to be inspecting her nails. Well,
You okay, Lady Mora? You seem pretty upset, and I thought your teeth was like getting really sharp.
she kind of tongues her gums for a moment. Why, whatever do you mean, Chris? I am in perfect shape. And you start to see the injuries of which that animated armor got on her start to seal up and away, and any blemishes that they left are vanished in a matter of seconds. See? Perfectly fine.
Oh wow!
It's a nice trick.
That is enviable.
And it's
As-
perfectly fine. We've seen crazier things in the hut.
Now that that danger has been contained, shall we resume our previous conversation? Ember, Cinderborn?
Yes,
Why
Daruka.
you gotta use the family name? It's uncomfortable. Look, that thing,
Just
well,
wish to confirm that was the correct name, so that we don't make any errors on your tombstone.
Ooh.
what tombstone? My family, would have none of this. You're threatening a bloodline of Gaidia. You know what you're saying right now. You're completely out of line. I did you a favor. I was.
I'm the one
Doing-
out of line?
Yeah, you are.
According to Tanner, this is all because of you.
Hey, I
Or
didn't
not.
say anything. No, it was Grit.
I'm a Grizz, because of Grizz. Yeah, apologies. I meant Grizz.
No worries.
Well, I mean, you know what good's a cauldron if you don't stir it? Like, you know, you gotta mix things up. I'm trying to, you know.
Mix things up. You. Does anybody have any way to talk sense into this one?
It's a work in progress.
Well, he said he was just really scared for his life. He said that. I don't know. Can I try to explain, Ember?
No.
You
For
feel a
once,
hand
Grizz,
kind of on
please,
your
just
shoulder.
be quiet.
In
I
in
think-
fairness
Okay.
to him, I was there when it happened. And he was unlike himself. He said there was a voice telling him that he needed to kill something, and he was unnaturally frightened.
I think
I
that the
don't know what
Psalm,
kind of magic goes on in this hut, but it wasn't all ember.
still, Ember, you see Daruka comes up behind you. He places a hand on your shoulder, and you notice the strangely backwards thumbs. And he says, I think to disarm any more hostilities here, why don't you just start with an apology?
Apology? What am I apologizing for? I was. Okay, yeah, no, you're right, Druka. I'm sorry for breaking the menagerie and causing beasts to run wild through the Baba Yaga's hut. It, 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 it wasn't supposed to be this way. It was supposed to be a simple, just a simple release for a troubled being that was trapped. And well, I didn't know that thing was the thing that was trapped. I thought Senrith was trapped in a cell, and I would just,
There was definitely something trapped. We've definitely released some sort of beast.
well, yeah, I mean, yeah, clearly, yeah. But now we can study it and learn about it, and maybe the new pet for the Baba Yaga.
Study
I
it.
don't know.
Yes, an excellent suggestion, Ember.
Yeah, this is an opportunity. This is not a problem. This is a good thing. I've done a good thing for all of you. You should actually show some appreciation. I'm kind of beside myself here.
Ember, don't push it too far.
Study? Trust you to side with him, Terek. This is not a thing to be studied until it is contained.
Well, I mean,
No, just be quiet now, thank you. What? How can we contain it?
I think the same way it was before. It seems obvious now. That thing is a shadow without a host.
Are you suggesting we need to find a host?
Yes.
And I don't suppose you'd volunteer.
He turns around and says,
I was actually thinking a light to banish the darkness seems fitting.
he looks towards you, Tanner.
Hello.
Senrith managed to contain it. Do you think you could?
Ooh. Sorry, that was player, not character.
Banishing a demon of that scale, I don't know. I don't think I have that kind of strength in me yet.
Then I foresee us fighting it again and again. Where did your little gnome friend run to?
Tyro, you're rushing off, trying to follow it. You've told your party it's going somewhere. They are seemingly content on discussing and arguing at this point. No fault of their own.
I did tell them I was chasing after it to see where
you
it was
did.
going.
So,
Not a clue.
oh god, Tara, you are chasing it up.
I never paid attention to him. I don't know. Also, not very in character. Sorry, I've completely lost the plot of who she is.
Who?
I believe he said he was running to the south,
Yeah.
but we were caught up in our own affairs, for which perhaps we should take another look at the way we address various problems in this hut.
So
Oh,
Definitely
I learned a
understand.
valuable lesson here today.
I think so. Several, perhaps.
going back into the first room, that staircase leads up to that the table which you thought oh, actually you weren't there. Anyway, it leads into the first room of the hut, and then it goes up a set of stairs and back on themselves, such that you're now in the attic. You should be over here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm just gonna get rid of these. Get out of here. You see the scythe float towards the menagerie.
Okay. So I'm sorry. Is this on the ethereal plane still?
Yes. Although
Okay.
you're flicking in
I
and
would
out, aren't
probably.
you?
I'd have to roll another
Okay, go ahead.
blink. So I rolled one already for the 15.
Okay,
You
roll.
tell me how much farther that gets me.
Roll again, because you'd have to dash to get up here.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm still on the
All right.
ethereal plane.
So yes, you would see him fly through the menagerie door.
Why don't I just roll? So I think we were in combat for 4 rounds. Let me just roll 4 more times.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have vision on where Taro is?
Okay, so I'd be out of it for 6 seconds and then back in for the remaining duration of the spell.
Okay. All right. Let me get this right. This. So you lapse in and out for like 1 turn, then out, then 1 turn you're in. Is that right? 2, 19, 11, 18.
Yeah, so basically for all but 6 seconds of the next 45 seconds or so, I would be on the ethereal plane.
All right then. In that case, then you lose track of them for just a moment, and as you're rushing through the ethereal plane, which direction would you like to go? So you're on the map here.
I guess it looks like it might be heading back towards the menagerie, so I want to keep heading towards the menagerie.
Okay. Okay, move your token. Dash like 60 foot, right?
Oh, okay, sure. No, my dash is 50 feet.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're no. Okay.
So that's 40.
Okay. And then at this point, you would go back into the ethereal, wouldn't you?
Yes, right.
Okay. You again see the 2 scythes floating down. They are heading towards potentially back where they started. And you can move another 50 foot.
Sure. Actually, let me just check something real quick.
Everything
I
around.
think. Yeah, okay, no, it does. I just was checking if it costs me more movement on the ethereal plane. It does cost me more movement if I move up or down, but as long as I'm going sideways, it's okay. I was trying to see if I can actually move 50 feet or not. So yeah, I'm gonna keep following it.
All right. Follow. Everything around you is this sort of grey, swirling mist in the ethereal plane. Everything is slightly visible as an outline, but not as solid as it once was. You see the set of scythes get to here. Penrith, of course, is no longer there. That's just where he used to be. And the scythes suddenly turn and change an angle. You expect them to go back into their chamber, but they don't. They shift and begin to head down to the bottom left. And you've still got, was it 2 more turns of ethereal?
Yes.
Okay. Move another 50 foot.
Chris, still
Let's see if
need
this is actually enough movement to get to.
vision on
Okay.
Tyro.
These doors, you have to kind of push open. Well, no, you can float through them. You're in the ethereal. So you float on through. You can see the scythes. And they are taking another sharp turn.
Chris, sorry to interrupt. Could I get vision on Tyro just for the stream?
No. Sure. Can be edited by.
We are headed to the southwest of the menagerie where Dr. Geralt's
There we go. Can you see
lab
now?
was.
Cameron?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, perfect. So, just close that. All right, you've got one last turn of ethereal movement.
Oh, this is interesting. I could float through this wall, couldn't I?
Yeah.
I'm gonna spend 25 to go here. And then I want to actually go through that wall. Because that's the room that had the interesting book, right?
It is. As I'd say, as you're floating through, so you'd see this moment here as you're floating closer.
Okay.
You see the scythes are here. You can still choose
Okay.
to go through that wall, but they seem to be taking a sharp turn, and they're actually heading this direction.
Oh, darn. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna keep following for another 25 feet
Okay.
then.
Go right ahead. All right, finally ending, or just about to end your spell. You see the two scythes float again. This one yanking it through the force, the wall of force. And I'm just going to check something actually, because the wall of force might stop this. Does it extend into the ethereal? I think it does.
Yeah, force effects usually do, yeah.
Hmm. It extends into the ethereal, blocking ethereal travel through the walls. Interesting.
Well, it could just go through unless the wall of force is around the whole thing, it could just go through like the wall.
Well, that's the thing. You haven't tried going through the walls in the ethereal plane in the hut. You can certainly try, but you haven't tried you haven't experimented with that yet. But it seems to be following a line that makes sense to it. Yeah, so you see this is the last thing you see is the two scythes up against the wall of force here, trying to get into this chamber where patchwork lies. And that's where your spell ends.
Who was it that, as we were leaving, seemed to be most in charge of like? What am I trying to say? Seemed to be most in charge of trying to put things back in order. It seemed like Lady Mora was doing that, or
yeah, it seemed like Lady Mora was putting things in order. Whereas Terek was like, yes, we should study it. And Kesseras was thinking of some weird diabolical host idea.
Okay, I think actually probably Terra would probably respond most to Carrick, so he's gonna cast Sending and let Carrick know that it seemed to be interested in the flesh. That's a flesh golem, right? That was banging on the wall before. Yeah, that he seemed to be very interested in the flesh golem that was to the southwest of the menagerie and inside of one of Dr. Geralt's lab chambers. Then I'll wait for his response and then I'll begin heading back.
All right. He says, intriguing. We'll have to investigate this further. The vault, you say? There are a number of magical items. Perhaps it is drawn to them. Or perhaps it is the magical items. Something to determine later. I'm on my way.
Sarah's going to make a note to suggest that perhaps it'd be good if he were to study some of these magical items that are just lying around. But yeah, that's all what he has time for, I think.
All right. The rest of you guys, did you want to catch up to him, or?
I don't think we know exactly where he's gone.
No.
Like, we can't follow him.
Oh, Terek would mention, though.
Yeah, I just tell Terek to let them know that.
So Terek mentions, he says, Tyro has made it into the vault. Chase seems to have ended there. Below the menagerie.
And I don't suppose you magicians would have any way of tracking this demonic creature in your residence on your own home? You don't have any monitoring spells or alert spells or
We have many monitors. In fact, Kesserask, that's more your domain, isn't it?
Yes. I have eyes everywhere.
And what do your elf eyes see?
Not elves.
Sorry.
Rats.
Even better.
Kasarask is in charge of surveillance and monitoring, not just inside the hut, but out.
We've noticed the rats, yes.
We need not be alarmed by them.
I didn't say alarmed, just said noticed. What did they tell you?
They tell me many things.
I'm sure they do.
What is it specifically you wish to know?
Well, there are a number of things I think would be helpful to know. First, if anyone else was interfering with Senrith while he was in that containment. Second, if before Senrith he was contained, where he was spending his time. Third, if they've seen such a thing as a diadem, or where the loot goblin is hanging out.
I can assure you, once Senrith was contained, no one conversed with him. Except Ember.
My worry is that Ember got in rather easily, and without too much sophisticated subterfuge.
Also,
Are
out
you-
of
Hey,
character.
now, you know,
No, you didn't. Not that you're not capable of it, but in that instance, it was you were fairly direct.
Well,
How reliable are your rats?
That's because he misused his trust. Lady Morris speaks up. Let it go, please. Let's concentrate on the task at hand. He gives an awkward smile and a thumbs up to you, to you, Ember. Now,
Give him a thumbs up back.
before that, though, what about before that? As Daya was asking.
Well,
Before he was
sorry.
contained, he often conversed.
You eyes to the side where Lady Mora is standing.
With Tasha.
But Natasha is no longer within the hut, correct?
That's right. And Kasarask, why did you not bring this to my attention? He says,
Natasha was under my charge, not yours. You need only worry of Eleanor's protection.
so what you're saying is that it was your fault that Natasha left without us being able to stop her. Kasarask says,
I did not say that.
They seem to have a bit of a feud amongst themselves.
why is there a fake Natasha in her chambers then?
Yes.
Oh, what?
Well, the strange doppelganger that we encountered in Natasha's chambers.
Show me now.
Well, let's go. I don't know how to get there, but
You feel a forcible pressure pushing into your mind, Ember. I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw, I think.
Sure.
Let me check. I think it is wisdom, though.
Did we say anything bad about them? I can't remember if we said anything bad about them.
I don't
Oh,
think so.
please pray that we didn't say anything bad about them.
Yeah, I'm not very good at
Well,
wisdom.
we didn't have a lot of compliments. It was a lot of.
It's a fucking
Wisdom
fail.
Yep. You feel...
I will Tides of Chaos this.
Okay.
I was gonna say, Ember's probably talking all of this out
So
loud
it's
anyway.
it's fine. plus whatever.
Plus 3.
Plus whatever from 12.
Plus 3. Oh, yeah, that's still a fail.
Okay, like an 18.
get out of my head!
You feel a grasp of like a tentacle gripping a hold of the door of your mind and
Both my hands
prying
are
it
going.
open.
Quick, think about Kesra naked.
You get like the flashing image of like an octopus's beak like pushing forward and consuming into your mind,
Total
Yeah.
darkness.
gripping into morsels of brain matter and biting at it.
Oh,
You
it's
don't
so
take any.
painful.
You don't take any psychic damage, but it's a very uncomfortable feeling.
Ember's just retching back and forth with his hands on his head, like.
After which you do feel it release, and your mind kind of feels like it's sloshing around inside of its skull. Let me just check. You do notice this, I think. Gains insight into the razor. Yeah. Either way, the target knows you're probing. Yeah. Okay, so you know all this is happening. Yeah. After which he immediately turns and starts off to Natasha's quarters. Okay. Jeez. Gave that one away. Where are you guys heading first? Did you want to follow Kesserask, or are you going to go towards?
I'm following Kesserask.
Okay, interesting.
I don't know if anyone else wants to come, but yeah, that's where I'm going.
Sure. Where else we go?
Kesserask busts open the doors, and if you want to drag your tokens, you can do. Yeah, he damn well near kicks them down. But he does so with his mind, of course. It's just this blast of mind energy as he focuses on the door and just swings wide open, enters into the chambers, and begins looking around. His mind is searching, seeking. He walks over to this area. His head suddenly jerks and turns towards this chair. And then his shoulders slump in disappointment.
Yeah, she said she didn't know anything about the diadem, but yeah, I was here looking for it, and she seemed completely like a fake, I think. You guys really aren't paying attention to what's going on around here, are you? It's kind of disconcerting.
For all your rats and surveillance and fairy creatures that lurk in the ceilings, an awful lot happens here.
He protests and tries to cut you off by shouting and into your minds, at least.
Natasha has not been seen in months. There is no need to surveillance her room.
Isn't that the point of surveillance? To see what you do not see?
His eyes squint towards you. You feel a measurable shunt in your mind, as if pushing you away from the psychic connection.
Yep.
And for the next few sentences, you are not tethered to this conversation. You instead hear Kesseras talking to the others. Everyone else is like still inside his mind, effectively. Anyway, he says,
You're certain this was here?
Yeah, I mean, you just basically stomped all over my mind without asking and saw it yourself, so I don't know what to tell you.
That was a messy place inside there. Some of
Well,
those memories are not your own.
He turns around and he pulls his hood back up, and he's got his back towards you.
Not my own. Whose memories are they?
I care not. But that mind is not thinking straight. You could have seen delusion.
Well, my other party members saw it too. I wasn't alone.
We did see. Oh, I'm not here, am I?
Yeah, not in this conversation anymore.
Well,
Sorry.
Ember's talking out loud.
Oh yeah, that's right. Ember would be talking aloud. Yeah.
We did see it. We discussed this. There was something very strange going on. And you noticed nothing.
Could it be linked to the shadow?
I would be very surprised if it was not. Oh, I'm not in this conversation.
I didn't say that to you.
Sorry.
He's been so rude. But
no, I'm being rude back. I'm not impressed. But I can't find my token, so I can't drag it over.
no,
I
no,
gotcha.
Okay, I have no idea what room I'm in.
We're over here. Oh, there you go.
Oh, thank you.
He's kind of just searching around the room and says,
There's no discernible mind here or trace of a mind.
Well, there is one more thing.
No pianos.
"Okay, sorry." Go on.
Oh. Yeah, the well, I think. One of these wells. If you look down it, maybe it's a fake bottom or something. I'm not sure how this really works. It's all really. Tyro was looking into it, I think.
Wells? What do you know of wells?
Well, some of them feed cities, some of them poisoned, some of them have endless possibility, and I think this well might be of the third variety.
He squints to you and seems to again caress your mind.
Don't do that shit again! Enough of that!
It brushes past and goes,
A lucky guess.
huh. You can roll an insight check in regards to that. Because he seems to be... Yeah, just roll an insight check. 10.
I'm not-
He seems to know more about wells. Like, he didn't just brush it off like, wells, what are you talking about? Are you insane? He actually asked, what do you know about wells? As if there is something about them. Grizz, did you just walk past this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine walking again.
Your foot gets stuck on the chair that he was looking at earlier. His head snapped towards one of the chairs.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So, Grizz, you just have to keep walking into it. You suddenly feel a bite.
Is it a
Ow.
fucking mimic? I swear to
Yep.
God, mimics in this place.
You gotta be careful with your step, man. You take 17 to hit, so yes, 7 points of piercing and 5 acid damage.
Ow.
What's
And
wrong?
you now have a chair, or at least it used to look like a chair, but now it's got gnashing teeth, and they're sunk into your leg.
I kick it away.
Oh my God.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Dia will run over and smack it a few times with the quarterstaff. Just
Okay.
shoot! Stop that!
The first hit you can roll, and I'll see what happens. You'll probably hit.
It's just gonna scamper away like.
Okay,
14 and 25.
The second hit is not going to do anything because you're stuck the quarterstaff to the mimic.
Oh, bloody hell.
So the damage goes through.
Okay.
But now the thing is biting onto Grizz's leg whilst a quarterstaff is stuck into the other side of it.
Can I kick it in the back of the head?
Yeah, you can sure as hell do that. Roll an unarmed attack.
Oh, 11?
11 is a miss, unfortunately, though.
Yikes.
Okay.
Okay.
But it does, on its turn, try to move away. Now it realizes everyone's rushing to Grizz's aid. I think it will actually scamper away. It got a nice nom, and now it's going to rush over here. And it jumps into the flowers over here. And you see like a rustling, and the whole thing jostles. And you can't tell which flower it is now.
I will examine my staff for bite marks, and
Just slightly burnt at the
and
edges.
very bravely restrain myself from making a comment about the vermin in the hut to Kesserask.
I'll come over. Like, are you two okay?
Yes.
What was it?
Just
I was just walking around there, step on something, and it bit me, but now it's gone.
it's another mimic pest. They're all over this
Another
filthy
mimic.
place.
I don't
Another.
feel too well. Do you mind if I lay down a bit? Thank you.
Wait, before you lie on the bed.
Wait, but don't. No.
Oh dear.
Another one.
Oh
I
dear.
know what.
Grizz, what do you do to yourself?
Hell's that?
What is that?
That is 213 points of comfy damage.
Okay.
This bed is so comfy. It feels like as soon as you lay your head on it, its silky embrace is lulling you into sleep.
Okay.
Did
I'm
anyone
waiting.
notice Grizz being injured, or why is he tired? That's very unusual.
He's got
Is he
9
is
hit
is he asleep?
Wait, he's bleeding all
Here's
over
some
the
coffee,
floor,
Chris.
Daya. Like that's probably something to do with it.
Even so, a sudden nap is really not in character. Am I wrong? I'm looking to Tanner to go
Well, I
like,
mean, he did get beaten up quite a bit, and it seems to be a running theme whenever he goes into one of his rages. Sometimes he just gets exhausted, and well, I'm surprised he's been standing up this long.
well, I suppose.
But who am I to say anything? I'm a paladin, not a cleric.
Kiss
Well,
her
I'm not a
ass.
doctor.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. There is. Oh no. Yeah,
Can it,
at the moment
there's-
you hear the door hinge kind of like screech a bit, and you see something entering into the room behind you. Tesserask does not even turn or flinch, but the rest of you guys can see a number of things crawling across the ground into the chamber, and they seem to scatter and spread. They are the little strange rats you've seen with the glowing blue brains, except there's a lot more of them this time. A whole swarm of them.
Yikes.
Yeah, more like this.
Ay,
Yeah.
caramba.
Yeah.
The fuck is that?
That's a swarm of them.
Yeah.
Kiss her ass. It's possible that these mists in the middle here could be hiding the doppelganger or something. Something with the mists too. They have some kind of dispelling properties or something.
What mists?
Well, this purple haze.
Okay.
Wow.
Sorry,
Hendrix.
sorry to confuse you guys, but there is currently this on the map rather than the purple haze. Should be just a
Oh,
large
okay.
fireplace. He turns around and looks at it.
Well, we found a little secret. Didn't Tyro?
Was it Tyro that found the secret door here?
No, it was actually me.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was.
sorry.
I'm sorry. It was Tanner. It's when you played the verse of
Yeah.
Veils on the piano.
Yeah.
Did you want to play it again?
Keep our secrets. Never mind then. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know how much we're going in to this side, because right now we've literally flipped it over, and instead of getting information of the people we think are bad and protecting the good, we haven't really discussed who our true allies are yet.
Hmm.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm
Never
gonna
mind.
look around
I
the
must have had
room.
my memories cloudy. That must have been someone else's memory. I don't know what a mist. I thought there was a mist. Never mind. I'm a little confused there, Kesserask.
I don't suppose I could just look around the room at my allies and just kind of like read their faces and just see what they think about that idea of saying anything.
I'm on your side. I don't know how I convey that with my face, but I guess I'll nod to you.
It's just kind of
Yeah.
like when Ember's talking.
Yeah.
I really could use a nap as well, actually. Took a few hits from that. I don't feel good inside. I don't know, no cuts, but that thing took a bit out of me, Tanner. A little of my essence.
I mean, it took quite a bit out of me as well.
I feel exhausted.
I am so injured.
You need
You know
not
what?
worry about trust, Tanner.
Shove over, Grizz. I'm having a nap too.
What was that, Chris?
You hear a voice in your head, only your head, Tanner.
You need not worry about trust issues, Tanner.
And what do you mean by that?
I am only here to observe and to learn. I am simply a liaison between powers. Nothing more. As long as you do not disrupt that connection, then you need not fear me.
Can I roll an insight?
Yes, you can.
Oh, I said goddamn 7.
You have no idea,
Mm.
but it feels like he was inside your mind right then. It feels like he just heard your out-of-game thoughts. Etaraska's crazy matter.
Oh yeah? What am I thinking about right now?
You're thinking about, what is he thinking about? You're thinking, what is he thinking that you're thinking about?
Stop thinking outside the thinking box. Listen,
But now I can only think outside of the thinking box and what the thinking box is.
well, if you wish, I can put you back in the box.
Are we talking about a metaphorical box or are we talking like a physical box? Because it's got to be a goddamn big box.
You're inside a box if you count the hat as a box. But I'm talking about a metaphysical box. Your mind mental prison. Regardless, play the
I'm not gonna lie, I just stared at my computer.
And technically your outer mind is inside a box as well. The room in which you're sitting. Yes. Yes, that box, whilst you stare into a box. A box of boxes.
Oh my god. The universe is a box, isn't it?
You gaze
my
too long into the box
He
stares
said-
back at you.
He said,
This universe is a box, yes. But there are so many more universes. Their own little boxes out there. You need only go back to the game selection screen.
You weren't very
Oh
popular
my
in school,
God.
were you? Right.
School, no. My kind would have me killed for what I seek. That is why I left the hive mind. To expand my mind.
The what mind?
You're not part of this.
Right? My bad.
Get out my head, Ember.
My backstory is not of interest here.
And what exactly are you seeking with the information that we have? What is your end goal within the hut?
I believe this place to simply be a gateway, a well, if you wish, in which I can dive and delve into and reach another height, another plane of knowledge. Now, time for you to share a little secret. Now wish for this to go as painlessly, as possible. Slip of the tentacle. Now, play the damn song.
Ah, god damn it. I hate tentacle faces.
okay. You don't have to roll for this one. I'm just
Okay.
going to say you remember how to play it, and you repeat the verse, and revealing the purple mist beyond the strange invisible barrier. The illusion dissipates, and he turns.
Ah, it makes sense now. That's how she got out.
What is it?
Ever resourceful, that Natasha.
How can she utilize this to escape from the hut?
She cannot utilize this. Not in the sense of elder gods, but she can at least try to tap, or rather, not tap into it, succumb to it.
He kind of looks at the mists, staring into them.
Ladorva's breath. I must to my chambers. I've
Did
seen
we-
enough here.
Did we actually ask Natasha who Ladorvu was?
Nope.
Ah, well then, wait, before you go,
Yes,
what did you call it?
this mist belongs to another plane of existence.
What?
One your mortal mind is not yet prepared to comprehend.
Well, it's an interesting name.
It is. But I must to my chamber. If Natasha's fake is tied to this, I now know who to contact.
And he
Who you gonna
begins
call?
leaving the room. And as he turns, you see a number of the rats also follow suit behind him. Without even a gesture, they seem to obey his command, his very will. He leaves some behind, of course. But they start to find their little nooks and crannies behind bookshelves, underneath divans. One goes into the piano. One goes under the bed. Another gets cozy underneath the pillow that Grizz is laying on.
What did he tell you? What
That
happened?
one's breakfast.
Well, apparently this, and gestures towards Ladorvu's breath, is apparently linked in some way to this fake Natasha. He's going to make contact with someone, but he's weird. He's cryptic. However, I don't get it. So back in the other room, when we were faced with all four of them, Lady Mora, Kesras, Tarek, and Chris, no, Darika, there we go.
Yep.
I was about to make the same mistake.
No.
There was something strange because, well, have you ever seen a creature like Kesras before?
No, I haven't. I assumed it was one of the many strange creatures from the Underdark or strange lands. Baba Yaga has many contacts across many places. He's far from the strangest thing we've seen in this hut.
I understand that, but he's far from the normal as well.
Well, true.
Especially one
What-
that's actually talking to us and not attempting to kill us.
There is that, yes.
But when I trust my divine sense. I feel like the path that I am pointed in is correct. However, I didn't get anything from him.
You did.
Obvious. Huh?
You got.
Oh no,
you
it's a faint. Oh, in fact, no. That kind of fudges up this entire conversation.
No,
Oh yeah, see,
you
I got
sent
undead, didn't it?
undead from him.
But it was a weird type of undead, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I'll kind of go with that. Okay, so I did actually get something from it. So, of course, we now know that Lady Moore is of vampire spawn, and I'm not entirely sure how all of you feel about that. However, my views are questionable, but she hasn't sunk her teeth into our neck, so that's good news, I guess.
I'm willing to let her be as long as she lets us be. She's been helpful so far.
And then we have Daruka, which was the strangest of all, because well, I assumed cat-like features. I thought he was some form of tabaxi. However, no tabaxis come up as fiends.
Can
he
he
is-
be both? A half-breed?
Being a paladin, would I know about like various forms of fiends and things?
The various fiends. Yeah, I think we rolled for this already, and you got nothing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. You were literally like, "I smite evil." That's it. That's you got like a 2 or something terrible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Um. So yes, it's something that I haven't come across before, but maybe we can do a bit of research and find out what exactly he really is.
Hmm.
But then Kesras, he's some form of undead. I mean, he spoke of a hive mind, whether that be his people, all connected as one, somewhat like, I don't know, druids or something.
Hmm. Chris, didn't we talk about illithids before, or
That was out of character, I'm pretty
that
sure.
was out of
Yeah.
character?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
What is
I
illithid?
I didn't say that. What I said was a hive mind, like bees, like how they all seem to understand each other and they have a single queen who rules them.
Oh,
I
funny
suppose
enough, hive mind is what? Oh right, you're going off what Tanner told you, right?
I'm going off hive of bees. Yeah.
Yeah, because Tanner said probably would have mentioned that he said hive mind. He once belonged to a hive mind.
I did.
Yeah,
I did
yeah,
mention
he said hive mind.
Sorry, yeah. Continue.
hive mind.
Do we do you know of any sentient creatures who have such colonies?
I
Or
don't know. Do I know anything?
I think probably unlikely off the top of your head, not unless you're very well versed in lore and history. But just so happens you have a library filled with the
No.
stuff. Yep,
No.
I said it. I said the L word.
No.
Speaking of library lovers, we will quickly cross over to Tyro because it's been left standing out on
Where's Fight Club?
been left outside the damn vault, waiting for his friends to turn up.
we've completely forgotten about him.
Yeah, stood him up. All right, Tarek turns up though.
The others seem to have scattered to their own means, Tyro, but I came as fast as I could. Now, you say that the scythes ended here?
Yes, they seem to be intrigued about trying to go through the force wall here, but were prevented from doing so.
The spell. Hmm.
He stands into the center of the room and he holds up a hand, manipulating the vault to change and shift colors on the dome. He draws all the colors into the center, and there's this bright white light. He then twists and turns it. The colors separate once again and merge back into the walls of force. But he withholds one color, and this wall of force here seems to dissipate. and he then goes up to the door, casts knock, and then the gate opens.
Let's have a closer look inside. Patchwork, you're dismissed. For now. Just stand at the back.
Does he want me to with him, or
He doesn't say yes or no.
okay? Yeah, I'll pop inside certainly to take a look here. Excited to see the master at work.
Please don't get stepped
What do you
on.
suppose was in these? What do you suppose was in these chests that this might have been interested in?
This is locked up for good reason. It's a treasure many would fight over. I believe it holds the Golden Lotus.
Intriguing.
Wars have been fought over its beauty, its lure.
Is this ringing a bell for Tyro?
You can roll a history check. As he's mentioning wars, you do remember there was a great war between the Eastern Kingdoms and the western coast of Midra. Though they were always thought to be more political, it did have a name that seemed to bear some resemblance to what he just mentioned. And that is that they were called the Golden Wars.
I guess I was.
The Golden War.
I was wondering more about if it seemed to be ringing a bell with respect to recent events between Grizz and Ember.
Oh, right. That also it does, doesn't it? He turns and looks at you, and I guess you can roll what would it be? Okay, this will be an Arcana check then, as you're talking about something specifically magical. A weird curse. 18 again. Okay. It does seem like it sounds like the same sort of effect, sort of an avarice that people would fight over. You're not sure whether this is the potential what's the word? Source of it? Whether other things were modeled on it, or whether this is just so happens to be a coincidence and that it is golden. It does seem to have some resemblance to it, though. Like that can't be a coincidence, right? The fact that this effect is present on all the coins you found, and that your own allies have turned against each other at some points. And lastly, you saw when it was cast into the cauldron that it seemed to coat the amulet, and if that gold substance could be coated on other things, such as a lotus, then it's likely that this could have caused a war in the first place. It seems to bear some resemblance, but you're not 100% sure on the details. You'd have to examine it or identify it to be 100% certain if it's the exact same effect.
Yeah, I will. I'll turn to him and say, what you're describing seems to bear some resemblance to a recent kerfuffle that emerged between Grizz and Ember. They were contentious about a certain necklace that had been transmuted with magic from the sorry, which hags were those? That
the night hags.
Yes, that's right. The night hags, their cauldron. There was some experimentation going on there, and I don't think it ended well.
Tyro, I'll be honest. I'd be very careful with what you touch that belongs to hags in this place. As I have mentioned before, Their magic does not work like ours. We wizards bend the laws of magic until they snap. But these hags, these witches, they torture the magic. It screams.
Well,
It is a front of nature. But it seems there are many paths to one's own ends. Regardless, I doubt this has anything to do with what you saw.
yes, perhaps. It seemed like it bore some resemblance, and I was concerned, let's say.
Yes, in regards to the scythes, I mean, or the spirits. But still, yes, you be careful about touching things that belong to hags. Now, the other chest, patchwork. What is inside this? I do not recall this one. It is more recent. And you see Patchwork kind of just sort of step forward. Oh, that's right. I don't think Dr. Geralt gave you a mouth, did he? It's all rotted away. He's looking through his spell book. Just a second.
If you want it, I could show you a more expedient organizational system that I use for putting together my
Please do.
showing him like his bullet journaling of his spell book. It's got like little colored annotations on the side, so you can flip through to the parts you need most quickly.
Love it. Don't think we have the spell we're looking for. Is it? You don't have tongues, do you?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. Well, you're not able to talk. I think we'd best just open it and find out.
Oh, well, I'll stand at some distance while you do that.
He taps his staff twice on the top of the chest. Open, says Terrig. And you see the chest open up as he casts a second knock spell. And he carefully lifts the steel lid, revealing, well, nothing in there at first. But suddenly, as he opens up the chests, you suddenly see two scythes kind of come into being, almost like they've just pulled their essence out of air into that space. And actually, not two scythes, just the singular one, I should mention. And it is the lighter of the two ones, like the one with the white kind of metal, the one that looked more like a divine energy, not
Right.
the shadowy one.
I'll
however,
point at it and yell, "That's the one! That's one of them, anyway!"
Okay. Where's the other one? He looks into the chest and, strange. Come, see this.
I'll nervously step over.
Okay. On the hilt of the scythe, there is a chain. And it's quite a long one. It's coiled around the base of the chest. However, as Terrig uses a mage hand, by the way, his mage hand it just consists of like sand and kind of just dissipates away at the end of the wrist, and it gets sand everywhere as well. As he's picking it up, you see sand grains fall into the chest.
As he picks it up, he sees the chain is dangling, and it gets more and more transparent the further the chain goes down, until eventually you see the links are just attached onto nothingness. But they seem to be not taut against something, but they seem to be like attached to something. Like as he lifts it up, there's a loop, and you can just tell the slight loop of a chain, and it's floating there, but you can't see what it's connected to.
Strange.
Do I understand what is going on here? Like where the other is like the other half maybe on the ethereal plane?
That's what he was about to ask you. Actually, he says,
Oh, okay.
You say you saw these on the ethereal, yes?
Yes, I saw both of them on the. I actually didn't see either of them on the material plane while I was chasing after them on the ethereal plane. So it seems like they've essentially phased halfway in somehow.
I believe I know what's happened here. But tell me, you seem to have a knowing look. Have you figured this out?
if you want, you can either tell me the hunch you've got, or you can roll an Arcana check.
Oh, I mean, my hunch is that one half of them is on a different plane. Is that what she's asking?
Yeah, that's that's exactly it.
But more so, these blades, I've seen them before. These belong to Senrith.
Oh dear. Well, that's not surprising, seeing as how they seem to be bound to him in a certain way.
Describe to me, well, I saw it myself, but describe to me. You didn't see the scythes do anything with that swirling shadow that sunk into the floors. They were separate?
They were connected by a silvery cord.
It seems this shadow still has ties to his host's former weapons. That is my analogy. That's my analysis of the situation. If so, these are a danger to us currently. Perhaps we should sequester them away. A simple vault is not enough.
What about the?
It's likely the must have come here and diminished the wall of force.
Seems to be putting it together in his head, and he's mumbling away.
What about the astral hall? Just throwing them down there.
He walks out of the room, and he's still holding onto the scythe with his mage hand.
Astral Hall is not currently in use. I have no idea where it leads to. But since
He looks down at you.
I can trust you with this, I believe. Since Una has made a pact with Baba Yaga, the stars of the Astral Sea, and furthermore, the Feywild are not ours to manipulate or utilize in this moment. I'm just saying the Astral Hall is off. It's maintenance at the moment.
Understood.
Not a bad idea, though. If we do cast them into that void, I can't say where it will lead or if we can even get them back. It might just be the negative energy plane. But no, it's less than that. It's nothingness. Hard to determine. It could be lost between the spaces in the hut. If so, it's not truly gone, it's just misplaced, and this creature might be able to still pull them out of it. No, we need to put these inside a pocket dimension. If only those hags hadn't had their commission aborted. They were creating a handy haversack, but I think Baba Yaga, for some reason, cancelled that commission. You don't happen to have a bag of holding, do you? We could put them in.
I don't, sadly. We could, Tyro does know about
You mentioned a word
rope
earlier.
trick?
A rope trick, yeah. Also, you can roll me another Arcana check because you did mention a word earlier. You said that we need to sequester them. I think that was the word anyway. And you can just give me an Arcana check and see if you. What did you get?
I did. Yeah, I rolled a 20.
20. Okay, you would know this spell then. Sequester means that you can hide something away for safe keeping, away from detection, away from manipulation. There is such a spell. That was DC 17, by the way. So you did pretty damn well. Sequester is a way to pocket something into a dimension, the wizard's will, and they, by that same will, can pull back that thing out of the pocket dimension. Whilst it's in there, it's in suspended animation. Time ceases to flow for it.
I'm imagining that's somewhat beyond Tyro's current abilities anyway.
It is, but for Terig, it sounds like just the sort of thing he would be able to do. Well, we don't have much time. We don't know when that thing will come back, but I may be able to study the spell and use it. I will have to take the scythe for the time being.
Oh, by all means, I certainly don't want anything to do with it.
Right then. I will do my best. Perhaps this will weaken the creature for the next encounter.
If I may ask, there seem to be, while we're all preparing ourselves for the next encounter, I wonder if any of the things in any of these other rooms would be useful in that regard.
He looks around.
Have your eye on something?
Well, I haven't really looked at all the things in here, and there was certainly a very spooky creature off to the southeast I don't care to look at again. But I did notice that there was there were a number of books over here that seemed intriguing.
These are ones containing magical knowledge. They are magical in of themselves, but they're in here for safekeeping, at least out of the hands of that blight. Once that creature has been contained, I'm sure it'll be safe to pull these out again. One question, though. Did Baba Yaga give you any permissions to any magical items yet? These are all hers after all.
I don't, out of character, I don't really know. Like, she gave us sort of general permission.
She's given you permission
say...
to sort of explore the hut, but I don't think she's gifted you any treasures, no. She did say that there was a wanted, there was definitely a wanted poster. There's a hit out for that loot goblin, and that those who capture it can each take one item from its stolen belongings.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, I would be honest with Sarah and say, no, I don't think she's specifically granted that. But, these are certainly unusual circumstances.
Indeed. She was only around. Roll me a persuasion check, Tyra.
You got this.
Oh, actually, I'm going to use my portent roll of 17.
Nice.
Plus your charisma?
So it's so it's 18.
18, nice. Okay. You foresaw this moment. Tereg was an ally of yours, and you seem to share a close bond as wizards. And indeed, this is a strange time. In fact, I think in that vision, it was Tereg who suggested that you take something in the first place. Although this timeline seems to be just slightly in reverse, and now it's you persuading him.
All right. I suppose one thing can't hurt.
He begins to rotate the colored orbs on the ceiling again, and lowers the magical barrier.
As long as they are going to aid us, I don't see
Certainly.
why it can't hurt.
Any recommendations?
Well, we have wands, staves. Come in, come in.
All right. You do have a number
Just
of
like
different
a
items.
smorgasbord of
Here we
random
go.
magic stuff.
You have a
All right,
menagerie of magic items.
there is a scimitar made of a black-looking metal with a brilliant sheen over it.
It's heavy. Toss it aside.
Yeah, he kind of
Don't want anything like that. What about this?
oh god. Yeah, there is a couple of scrolls at the back, not just books.
What are the wands and staves, etc. look like?
So they're a mixed bag, but I think some of them would be recognizable to you. For example, one has this kind of crackling lightning surrounding it. It's very obviously a wand of lightning bolts. There is another staff, sorry, not a staff, a wand that has a small little orb, like a gem-like thing at the end of it with a prong. It's very obviously a magical detection wand, which you've got already in spades, so not too out of this world. Of the staves, though, there is one which looks like it has. Man. In fact, you can roll an Arcana check for this, but it looks like it has like scarabs encrusted all along the shaft of it. 13. You have some idea of what this thing is. Most staves have charges in them, and they replicate certain spells. And just looking at the staff, the kind of insects, you reckon it probably summons swarms, or does something else similar to it, like an insect cloud or something like that nature. And then the other staff, you can roll another Arcana check for. It seems to be a gnarled-looking wood, and at the end seems to be a balled-up fist that's just clenched, and the wood looks like old and rotted. That thing's quite dangerous. It's a staff of withering. When you strike people with it, it saps the very life force from them, stealing their years away and dealing necrotic damage.
That's a bit creepy.
Yeah, as you'd imagine, these aren't staves for wizards. He said that these are Baba Yaga's personal ones.
I don't suppose if any of these have any particular radiant or energetic properties to them, or magical enhancement abilities.
Goodness, no. I don't think she'd be caught dead with something like that.
That's unfortunate. Let's see. How about those the books at the back then,
Oh,
with the scrolls and stuff?
Wow, it's been a while since I've seen one of these. This is, I believe, the last time you checked was a book that it was one of the manuals, wasn't it? And we rolled for it. Which one was it? Do you remember?
I want to say it was the Constitution one.
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay. Yes. So let's have a look. The legendary items he mentions.
Well, it's both something you wouldn't expect a wizard to have, but also very useful. It's a manual of bodily health.
Yes, uh,
Takes a year for wait. Takes a century for these to recharge.
yeah, I'm a bit concerned that any investment we would make in trying to study it would uh, not be realized before the next time this thing struck again.
Indeed, it would take some time to study. As for the others, let's see.
Is there anything in here, Tarek, that you understand would help us keep tabs on the machinations or uh, whereabouts of this creature in case it begins to reform or decide to strike again?
This wand definitely would work. He points at the wand to detect magic. At least picking up on disturbances, even if it doesn't pick up any magic at all, might be a reveal. But it seemed to give off an air of necromancy, perhaps? Or not a magic at all. It was hard to cast spells near it. So anti-magic, perhaps transmutation. Well, regardless. Um, that's the nearest thing that would help.
Yes, I
Also,
do.
this you might see this around the hut. Sorry to interrupt. He goes over to there's a small glass cabinet, and you see this scroll here. Let's have a close look at it. Don't know what that says. Either way, in one of these glass cabinets, he says, "You might see these around the hut. These small glass cabinets. Inside is an emergency scroll of dispel magic. The hags often set fire to things." And so, in case of emergency, break glass and cast the spell.
It's like the defibrillator kits and airports or whatever.
Defibrillators? No, believe it or not, I believe Dr. Geralf has something similar to that. But this could also be handy.
That's
He
actually
casts
good
knock
to know.
on the glass so as to not break it, and hands you a scroll. So you've got a scroll of what is it? Where is it?
Emergency dispel magic.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just looking for it. Oh, there it is.
I'm happy to the
Yeah, very quick. Look at this. It's a casting time of a bonus action.
I suppose that's helpful.
That's
Yeah.
mad.
Mhm. And yeah, you have a look at it. It says, in case of magical fires, sharp animated objects gone haywire, or accidental rips and tears in the material plane, break glass. But yeah, that's something that might come in handy.
Yeah. I suppose of all the things in here, if there isn't any, I guess I'm surprised to hear you say that Baba Yaga wouldn't hold on to anything with
A holy.
or a radiant tinge to it. I mean, that need not be holy. One would think that if one dislikes something, the perfect sort of thing to do is take those things and put them in a vault somewhere.
Hmm. You do raise a good point, Tara, as usual. But perhaps it is just her personal tastes.
Out of character,
Fair
didn't
enough.
she have like a bunch of like armors that were like had different religious symbols on the chests?
They were shields, yeah, like They weren't necessarily like magical items, but they were shields depicting like houses, kingdoms, different orders.
Oh,
Yes.
different orders. Okay, rather.
Yeah.
So it was more like a crest collection, more of a.
Yeah, exactly. The displays.
Well, I don't know.
There are a number of shields in here, though, that might protect your allies. But
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll take a look at those. Or do you feel that they would offer any particular defenses against this sort of shadow creature?
yes, now that you mention it, maybe not as useful. Still, they're hardy, sturdy things. Yeah.
You know, having reflected on the things you described, Tarek, I did see that Ember had some success in blasting it with with his fireballs. If we can't do radiant damage to it, then maybe the next best thing is to just stand back and blast it with things. So I'm thinking that perhaps the wand of lightning that you pointed out before is our next best bet.
Right. It's yours for now. I'm sure when Baba Yaga comes back, we have a reasonable explanation.
Well, thank you very much, Tarek. I'll take very good care of it.
Please don't lose it.
I'll try to keep it safe in the loot goblin.
Exactly.
All right, he comes back out and places the wall of force back over the. And you've got the scroll as well, so that's something.
All right.
Oh, he let me keep both of those?
Yeah, he's going to have you.
Oh, okay, cool. Where have we seen the glass cases?
So you've seen them in the Tinker Hag's room, and although you
Okay.
haven't been in it yet, you imagine it's probably one in the Green Hags as well. And I can also say one in Baba Yaga's Baba Yaga's chambers, personal chambers.
I think Tara is gonna be, I think, very impressed by the sensibility of that. Like, oh, you know, finally someone's designed some like reasonable features into this place.
Yes, well, that was my idea, after all.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
I was the one who wrote up the scrolls. You can see my writing. Yeah, look, signed at the bottom.
But PPE never hurts anyone.
Now, I must learn a sequester spell and get rid of this nuisance.
And he's teleporting away. See him swirl around and turn into an hourglass figure of sand, and then vanishes away. The rest of you guys during this time could have taken a short rest. I don't mind you guys doing that.
Okay.
So if you've spent all your hit dice and stuff, that's fine.
Tara goes to try to find what happened to his companions and hopes they haven't all been eaten.
Yeah. If you want, I'll say, Tara, without much effort, you do reconvene with your allies. You can drag your token over to them.
Well, there you are.
Where have you been? Disappeared.
I just had a very nice chat with Tarek. I'm glad to see you've all been recovering and taking a nap in here.
Well, in fairness, you were gone for a lot of that fight.
Well, I was waiting for you. They said to come follow me.
We couldn't catch up. It was your speed is quite something when you're interested in knowledge. But we're here now. What did you learn? What news?
Well, I was able to sense the form of the fell shadow creature. It had coalesced into an ethereal shape that was a pair of scythes with a silvery cord between them, and it seemed to be retreating, recovering somewhere, and it eventually came to rest inside a chest in the vault, the one that was in the same room as the flesh golem that we saw before. Tarek took it to try to examine it further and attempt to. He said he was going to work on a sequestering magic that would keep it away from certainly this place and somewhere else for an extended period of time. Who knows how short or long that might be? But he said he needed some time to learn the arcane nature of that spell. He didn't seem like he had it available or practiced at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Did he think that that would do the trick to be able to banish this creature?
Well, it's a little beyond my ken, but well, actually, would Tyro have an opinion about that?
Well, the thing you heard him say was perhaps this will weaken the creature for the next encounter. But he doesn't believe that this was the creature, just that it was using them like it was the weapons of its former husk, right? Host.
Yeah, it seemed to have essentially a sort of. Tyro's going to incline his head. A sort of connection to these scythes. He called them Senrith's former weapons, and perhaps this creature was in some way Senrith, or Senrith became it, or something in between. It's hard to say.
Some connection between the host and the parasite?
Yes, that's a very sensible way of putting it. Well, in any case, I convinced Tarek to let me, well, not exactly give, but borrow a tool or two that might come in useful later, and he'll hold up the wand. He's like, this is a sort of electrical charge storage device that will be able to release energy on command later. I saw how effective Ember was in, I mean, not without a little collateral damage, I suppose, but it was pretty effective at being able to disrupt that creature, and that seemed to, if not weaken it, then certainly hurt it. And my understanding is the way these devices work permits us to stay a little bit farther back than some of my other abilities do. And I don't care to get very close to that thing. It got very close to me a number of times, and it was quite terrible. So I intend to stay as far away as I can the next time an encounter happens. And there's also this, and he pulls out the scroll of emergency dispel magic. Tarek indicated to me that there are a number of these glass cabinets around the hut, often in the offices and laboratories of the hags, and they're used as a sort of emergency failsafe if I'm not sure that many of us could use it. Perhaps just Ember and myself, and maybe Tanner. I'm not sure. Can Tanner?
I'm pretty sure
Tanner
Tanner
couldn't.
can.
Do you have to spell magic?
I think paladins do get a level 3.
Oh, okay. So, would you be able to read the scroll?
I believe so.
It's not technically a spell scroll.
Scrolls are something that you can use regardless of level, aren't they, Chris?
Yeah. So I think you have to make a spell casting check if you don't know the scroll. Sorry, if you don't know the spell. The DC is fairly low, especially for like the spell magic. It's only like a DC 13 or something.
10 plus your level.
Yeah, I do actually get to spell magic.
Yeah. So anyone can use them, but there is
Well,
just a little check involved. That's all.
You'd have to make a check because can you cast level 3 spells? I don't know.
I can't yet.
It has to be on your. If it's a literal spell scroll, it has to be on your spells, your class's spell list. But if since this isn't really dispel magic, like this is a sort of a modified version, so it's yeah.
I'm gonna say for this one, anyone can try it, but it's gonna be DC 13. It's an intelligence what is it? No, it's just your spell casting modifier. So for Tanner casting it, it would be like a charisma check.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Interesting. So if you can cast a spell magic, though, there's no DC. It just succeeds.
If you know the spell, it's on your spell list, and you are able to cast 3rd level spells, then yes, you can just cast it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and Tyro will say this is sort of a way to quench uncontrolled magic. I can see how this would come in very handy. Perhaps the next time a animated suit of armor decides to attack us.
That would be ideal.
The funny thing about those is, well, do I want to spoil that yet?
My impression actually had been that it was the magic that was holding them back, not that was animating them.
There we go.
Perhaps both. But I'm happy to leave those suits of armor alone. That was very nasty.
Yes. I was a little worried that was about to get out of hand. I'm glad that the others were able to subdue them more effectively.
Yes, me too. Thank you. They didn't bruise as easily as I might have liked, and yeah. I can admit when I am overpowered.
Mm.
If you thought I was fast, we should have seen Daya getting out of range of those.
Yes,
arms.
thank you, Tyro. We don't need to emphasize it. It was the most prudent and
I
strategic
agree.
move at the time.
I'm not in any way attempting to
Sometimes one needs to know
denigrate
one's
your
strength
choice.
and where were you during all of this, by the way? I don't remember seeing you fighting
on another plane
Throwing
and
s-
in another room.
throwing
Even
spells at the
further.
creature, no doubt.
Oh my god.
The best defense is not being in the same room as the thing that's trying to kill you.
Well, I don't disagree.
Hey,
Anyway,
are they flirting?
What did you all learn in the intervening time?
What was that, Marcus?
No,
Talking in his sleep.
Oh, talk to.
yeah, talking to him, but like this would have woken them up from their nap, I suppose. Chris just asked him, but are they flirting?
Maybe Grizz. I'm not sure. Not sure.
Well, what I learned is lapping in his bed did absolutely nothing. I'm still tired.
shouldn't you
pretty
have recovered?
enough.
Didn't you take any hit
I
dice?
don't have any more hit dice, apparently.
Oh
That
dear.
was useless. I
Wait,
think it's those hags again messing up with my dreams and stuff.
Those hags are everywhere. I think what I would very much like is some comfort food and maybe
Bacon.
yes, that'll do. Sausage, macaroni and cheese.
Ivan, you can't stay in this poncho. Back in Grizz's armpit. I like a rabbit around here. Get out of here.
I'm gonna try to give Ivan back to Grizz.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Ivan clambers up. You alright, mate?
It's been a while. You've been okay.
Not my poncho.
Well.
It's my poncho only.
I'm doing alright until that weird shadowy thing turned up. Started making a mess of things. It seems like
I
trouble
can't
just
remember.
follows you, you know that?
I don't know if I can actually communicate with him.
No, you
no.
can't. It's just Chris.
Yeah, I'll give him back to Grizz. Grizz seems
And
to.
Tyro, I guess. In fact, Tyro can understand him right now. I
Yeah.
think Grizz has to concentrate, doesn't he? He has to think hard.
That's it. Thank
A
God.
one-way conversation. I'm just like talking at the rabbit, like get out of my poncho, and then trying to catch him and give him the Grizz.
Right, cahoots. Beady-eyed fuck. Stop staring at me.
He flutters insulted over to over here onto the stable and hangs out.
Yeah, that's
Ivan's
alright.
the greatest.
Go leave your bird droppings elsewhere. Anyway, someone said food, or at least I think it did. I'm not sure the actual dialect, but I think You know, dogs understand the word food, so you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, I know what that means.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Kitchen? What do we do now? I'd like to thank you all for throwing me under the bus. By the way, that was great. That was really.
We
that
tried
was,
to. Oh, okay. We did
especially
try
after Tanner's big old speech. We all got to stick together. Oh, Amber did it.
We did try to defend you and say it was not your fault and not your intention. However, sometimes in situations when one is analyzing a situation, accuracy of knowledge helps to determine the
Deception
next
helps.
steps.
You gotta spin the weave the way you want it to be spun. You gotta.
Well,
And you did it marvelously by saying you were freeing him rather than killing him as the weakest. I do applaud your diplomacy there. I did notice, but
we
the
knew
fact
you had it
remains
covered.
that yeah,
Like, you've got to have some trust in us. I mean, after all, they were out looking for us as well and making sure that we weren't getting into trouble. So, if anything, finding out that it was you who caused it, it kind of stopped them on their big search. I mean, after all, Emma, we were just using our assets to stay alive.
well, quite.
Oh, you're not wrong there, Tanner. I'm apparently still breathing, so that's something.
We wouldn't let her sink her fangs into you, it's fine.
Well, I don't think it would be Lady Mara. I think I was more concerned with Tesserask. Gnarly fellow. He went right at my mind. That hurts. I didn't like that at all. No,
Yes,
like
he
Tanner,
is an
I
interesting
know
one.
he talks to you, like, you know, like I can do, like, you know, I'll just cast message and say a few words with message, but it was more than that. It wasn't just the voice in the mind. It was he was in my mind, Tanner. He went into my brain.
Yeah, I don't really know what to think about it either.
It hurts.
Is that a common ability among magical types? I admit it is worrying.
Generally, yeah. I mean, most, you know, Ganassi. Well, not most, but some of us, you know, a little bit of luck. Luck runs deep in the magical ancestry that we have, and you know, our former genie forefathers and foremothers definitely had the ability to communicate telepathically. So it seemed to have found its way onto me.
Wait, you can do that too? Read our minds?
No, I can talk to you.
Oh, that.
You know.
Oh, that's less worrying. I'll be honest. I was concerned that you would be. I don't know.
If I read your mind, you thinking some things you shouldn't be?
I think you know exactly what I think
I think
most
you
of the
should
time.
prove it.
Ah.
What's Grizz thinking right now?
Bacon.
Is he think-
Get out of my head!
Oh, hi, Lady Mora. See that you
So-
got hungry too.
Yeah. So we'll say you had this conversation on your way to the kitchen. You've been getting some food and munching, and Lady Mora enters up through the stairs. There's a cold demeanor about her, though. Thought I would find you here.
Well, at least it's not the Kenku.
Yes, they should be in the minions' quarters, as should others who are not.
The minions' quarters. The minions' quarters. The minions' quarters.
Please,
uh,
I've got a headache enough as it is.
would you like to join us for some food? We're resting after what just transpired.
I cannot rest until that last creature from the menagerie is contained.
But you need
Whilst
to at
you're
least
here
be.
eating,
You need to be
whilst
at
you're
your
here
full
eating
strength.
our bacon, there is still a Galth on the loose, if you
Don't worry
recall.
about him. He's all right.
He's all right. Are you kidding? That thing could be potentially the most dangerous of all, as it is by far the most intelligent. No offense to Senrith, but of course he's not really a
Well, I mean,
he's not really a player in this anymore.
by
Don't
all
worry,
means, if you have any way to regain spell slots and things, then if you have any ideas, please.
I do
Not
not.
a,
No.
yes, unfortunately,
Nothing-
not all of us, Lady Mora, can recover quite so efficaciously as yourself. We do require sustenance.
Don't
And
ask
rest.
what that word means, Grizz.
I think even Lady Mora raises her eyebrows at such a long word.
Which is to say, we may need to rely on your mercy a little longer, if nothing else than to keep watch, and we will deal with the Gauth in
Well, I mean,
time.
we're all in a pretty good mood now, right? Now that like the shadow thing is gone, right? For now.
Yeah,
No.
Like, we're not as stressed. We're not as like, maybe Tanner can have a go with impressing dust again,
yeah,
and maybe she can heal us a little bit more.
Sure.
eh,
Yeah, I've
I
been.
mean, because when we was trying earlier, we were like, "Oh, it's gonna kill us." Oh, we were all like all over the place. But
This
maybe
is-
now,
This is a
because
good
we've
point.
taken care of the big problem, we're all pretty chilled out. Let's have something to eat, and then yeah, let's
have a seat, Lady Mora.
let's
I'll
come
point
to-
to this
Speak for yourself, Grizz. I'm still stressed.
Well,
Oh,
Uh,
would you like a berry? It might relax you a bit.
He sits down. What type of berry?
Well, I've called it emberries because when we first found it, like it had some pretty funny effects on Ember. I've still got 3 of them. You can have one if you want.
Berries.
It'll like, yeah, if you eat it, I mean, if you don't
Really
fancy like bacon or sausages, like just one bite of this, like you're filled up for like the whole day.
On the contrary, one bite of any mortal food and my guts will be spilled.
Lady
What,
Mora
even berries?
Markov. Can I ask you a question?
Say that again.
Lady Mora Markov, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What forced you out of the manor?
It is a long story, Ember.
Well,
I'm sorry to say, but it is not a very happy tale.
yeah, it did seem, thematically appropriate given we're, in the 10th month of the year, around the end of the
Don't know what you mean.
don't worry about that.
You mean, hold on. You're speaking of Liar's Night?
Liar's Night, yes. It just passed, right? I mean, I know time's really messed up in this hut, but I think it was somewhere around there.
For those of you not as well versed in the Faerun lore, Liar's Night is the D&D equivalent of Halloween.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. It is a
I didn't
day.
know if that was the thing in oh my god, I always forget the name of the world.
Yeah, it's a night of celebration and general merriment, but watch your coat pockets unless you prefer to have candy exchanged for your coin. Yes. Anyway, so
Why the 2 extra portraits with Eleanor and Natasha?
they were placed more recently, and
Well, clearly, they don't follow the same theme of coloring and all
No.
that.
considered them my own family, at least some semblance of replacement, perhaps.
Ah, okay. Makes sense.
I put them there.
Okay. That answers that. Well, I think you'd be happy to know that, your curse has been lifted by us. You owe us one.
She looks at you for a moment, and she looks at her hands.
Show her the quiver, Tanner.
I'll bring out the Jiska deck equip.
It's over, Lady Mora. You don't have to... Miss Markov, shall I say? You don't have to suffer anymore. We did you a solid.
She sees the quiver. May I?
But of course.
She inspects it.
See? No arrows.
Belonged to my father. I appreciate your efforts, but my curse extends far further than my family.
Well, that's sad to hear. I thought we actually, See, Tanner, I'm trying to do some good, and we try to do some good, and it doesn't even do nothing anyways.
Does that same curse that is why I cannot eat that berry? Just the same curse as to why I'm bound to this place.
What are the 11 others? What happened to them? 12 others, sorry. 12 others.
Oh, yuck.
She sort of tries to pick herself up, clears her throat. My family fell in with an ill deal with Baba Yaga herself, and well, just the same reason why I'm stressed right now as it is. It is bad to displease the Bone Mother. If you fail in your duties, there is only one outcome.
I asked from a place of great interest. I don't mean to pry, but I as you've called me many times, Cinderborn, you seem to know a bit of my past. I come as kind of an envoy of sorts of my own family, and I would mean to enter into some kind of an agreement, perhaps with the Bone Mother herself at one point. It's possible. Perhaps your tale could be a tale of caution, so that my family does not suffer the similar fate.
She
Although I've
looks
had visions
she
with
looks
Granny
around the
Jennifer.
table and sees you all like munching away on various snacks and eating. And she says, I'm afraid that caution came too late. You are already at her
Oh
at
shit.
her loan. You already owe her. You eat from her table. You stay within her hut. These simple, harmlessly seeming acts are ones which bind you to her, bind you to this place. You do not yet know it, but you have already entered into a deeper pact than you might realize.
One more thing, Miss Mora, and Tanner, if you don't mind. Tanner is a servant of Raziel. I couldn't help but notice a lot of the Markov Manor was decorated in statues in servitude to Raziel. Is
Indeed.
it possible that the Baba Yaga herself, as I understand it, Raziel's been missing or hasn't been heard from? Could she be involved? Tanner, I know you seek those kind of answers. I don't know if these two things, you may have something to share, Miss
Well,
Markov?
the Markov mansion, family mansion, was sat just outside of Nefany, and south of that, Weep is a city well known for its worship of Raziel, an angel of law and guidance, protector of lawkeepers, and keeper of secrets, supposedly. That angel is already shrouded in enough mysteries as it is, but then to have this deity supposedly disappear, I cannot speak for the clerics or paladins that harness his power, but if they say his influence has lessened, then
can only imagine something terrible must have happened to them.
Tanner,
We
see, okay.
Yeah. Insight check on Tanner.
Yeah. What's Tanner like? What's he look?
yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I'll
I
give you
forgot I have to
advantage.
actually I have to
Sarah,
actually roll the check now.
I'll help you because I also would have shot a glance at Tanner, but I'll help
Yeah.
you. I'll help you with that check.
20.
Okay. So she's actively describing your home, your place, and she's actually talking a bit about Nephany. How does Tanner react to this? She's talking about something potentially terrible befalling your deity. Cameron?
Do you know what? I've
You
been talking this whole time. I was actually
Sure.
asking you to repeat the tail end of what Lady Mora was
Okay.
saying, but I talked about Nephany. Ooh.
She's mentioning Nephany was a place close to Weep, and so they do know of Raziel, and her family, of course, revered the angel as well. But she just mentioned that something terrible may have befallen the angel if their presence has seemingly vanished. But she says she can't speak for the paladins and clerics who actually harness his power, so she kind of turns to you to sort of question.
So Tanner's been like obviously watching Lady Mora as she's been talking. At the mention of that, his eyesight breaks from her. At when she says, or sorry, when she starts mentioning about the paladins kind of like potentially losing track of their deity.
Your powers still seem to be active, Tanner. What of your clergy back home?
He begins a nervous tap of the foot underneath the table. It's different in here.
How? When I was there, people would sing praises of Raziel. Clerics would perform miracles, heal the sick.
But now the voices fall silent. Paladins don't normally travel this far out of Weep. Yes, we have miracles within the city. Yes, we're a very holy place. However, he begins to fall into a deep stare. Things are different. This is somewhat of the reason why I've wound up here.
To restore your order? Or what? I'm sorry, Tanner. Do you understand him, Miss Markov? I'm not sure.
He is talking about restoring the voice, restoring Raziel. You've noticed that, well, in fact, just before just before the fight with, I think it was a Hydra, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Tanner mentioned that, like, Ember is not the only one who's kind of like panicking and losing track within the hut, as you all have noticed Tanner is slightly breaking. But one key thing comes to mind when he's talking about this is he said that he no longer he no longer has guidance. He no longer has his voice. And he's acting purely on instinct.
Yeah. Okay.
And also, Chris, I know.
Sure.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
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 I get what you mean now.
Yeah. There's also something I know it's going back a little bit, but you mentioned that Ember, you broke the curse on her family and that they're free, and you'd expect Lady Mora to be like jubilant and at least maybe shed a tear. But there's this, as I've mentioned, a cold emotionlessness to her that it's
Off-putting.
strange. You remember there being 13 specters, 13 portraits, and I guess everyone can roll an insight on this in this regard, as Ember is recalling of the heroic deed that you guys performed.
Sorry to take things in this direction, guys. I didn't mean to like take us on another road here out of
Oh
nowhere.
yeah, well
Oh,
that's why
man.
Lady Mora mentioned, hey, it's not a happy tale.
Yeah, go dark or go home.
Okay, Grizz, yeah. Oh, yeah, Ember, you're sitting right next to her and there's not a
Still an
single
idiot.
tear being shed. She does speak fondly of Eleanor, very much so, and the fact that she even sentimentally put her portrait up next to her own family means that she cares deeply for her, but it feels like a part of her died with her own family. The fact that you saw 13 spirits can only mean one thing. Lady Mora is... her soul is not with her body. Lady
Oh
Mora
my
is
god, she's
dead.
one of them. Oh shit.
And the fact that she feels nothing for her past family now, and she sort of in a way spoke about herself more than anyone. You said that you cleansed the curse on her family, and she only spoke of herself, saying, "My curse extends far deeper than that." And
What?
Oh my
yes,
god, we just dispelled her family.
You...
Wait, what is that?
Maybe
What
we
does
set
that
I
mean?
don't
maybe
understand
we
what
set her
happened.
souls free.
you
Oh,
set
that...
her souls free, yes, but as you know now, Lady Mora is undead, Tanner. She has died, and whether her soul is with her or not, it's hard to say. But you just get this fact,
What?
you get the idea, Ember, that Lady Mora has... a part of her died with her family.
Did we kill her? Did we kill her soul?
Oh my god, we fucking we just
I don't
cast
know.
You
a
freed her
5th level
soul.
dispel
We
family.
freed her soul, but the fact that she's still an undead
Mm-hmm.
is, yeah, like maybe that's what she's talking about. That her curse, like
Her
reaches,
curse.
like yeah,
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
that's
I
what
think she was quite
Okay,
specific
yeah.
on, like she said, her curse, like her own curse, not her family's curse, right?
Yes, precisely. But
Did she have a did she have a soul before we went into the Markov Manor?
I mean, it was there. It was with the others.
One of the
Yeah.
13, yeah.
It was hard to
Mhm.
pick out, but there was indeed 13 souls,
Mhm.
and you freed all of them. But Lady Mora still remains here, and she still speaks as though she has all of her memories. But it does feel like I said, Ember, no tears shed for her family. No, not even a thanks for like having freed her family. It's as if they're not really a part of her anymore. It's like that died. And if anything, that symbolizes why she holds Natasha and Eleanor so close, because they're her new family in this place, a new life. Anyway, but that's everything with the natural 20 for the insight.
I
Well,
will act on that. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, sorry to steal the little spotlight from Tanner there, because that was something
Oh, yeah, yeah.
back then,
Oh,
but
don't
it kind
worry,
of
don't
led
worry.
to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry, go ahead, Cam.
Emotion.
In the Buffyverse. Yeah,
I actually will use my last sorcery point to subtle spell at this point. To subtly
Mhm.
message Lady Mora. And with the insight, I will just ask her, how can you leave your only one you care for in the hands of a devil?
You're revealing this? Oh god.
I'm
Okay.
doing
Oh,
this
no!
subtly. Subtle spell.
Oh, subtle, yeah. So no
Using
one else needs this.
my
And you're
last
kind of
sorcery
being
point
vague
to
as well.
cast
A
message.
devil? What? You speak of... You don't speak of, Jaden, do you?
I'll just nod to her. Well, I'll just
You have to
nod.
message her again, but
No,
yeah.
I'll just, no, I won't message her again. I'll just nod to her.
Mm. She looks at you and says, Jaden has been nothing but a staunch protector. He would lay
Yeah.
down his life for her if he had to.
Well, of course he would.
I've seen his self-sacrifice before. When Eleanor's life was in danger before, he threw himself into harm's way.
Ember won't say anything.
Anyway, I just realised the time. But if there's anything you want to wrap up on Tanner, because it seems like that last few lines were a bit vague, and I think even Lady Mora would press for answers and say, "I'm sorry to feel like I'm bringing up bad memories, but Tanner, what exactly has changed in Weep? You say that
We've lost contact with
you're going
everything
on.
divine. All
And what do you
prayers
mean
aren't
when you
being
say you're
asked.
going on a What were your words? Going on.
A
You were going
pilgrimage.
by like.
or, or going in search for, like, well,
You said
effectively.
you were doing things by like from the hip or something. That's the expression you used. You're doing things like naturally or something.
Oh yeah, like
On
just by
instinct, you
instincts.
said.
Yeah,
On
yeah.
instinct. Thank
Yeah,
you.
sorry.
God, my memory. Yes.
My memory.
She's asked, "What do you mean by going on instinct? It's not how I understand divine magic to work."
Well, it's more just what we're taught. Just literally praying and hoping for the best. And unfortunately, we're not praying with confidence.
You
See,
doubt your own God.
at this current time, yes. The reason I left Weep is because all divine magic has ceased. Clerics are no longer to complete these miracles you call. The paladins and soldiers are not able to protect the people. I'm scared that, well, by the time I make it back to the city, it could be an uproar. And I don't think even the Monty Pots alone would be able to handle, well, an entire city in riot.
The Monty Fots, the name drop. She says, doubting one's own deity.
Well, that's why I'm remaining confident. However, I'm feeling like I'm slipping. These past few days, I definitely feel like my mind isn't what it was once I first stepped into the hut. Hell,
feel
it's
like
not been the
I
same
can
since I left the
relate.
city.
The doubts you have are definitely relatable.
I just don't know who to turn to for the answers I require.
I'll help you find them answers, Tanner.
He
And if you ever need like reassurance if you're doing the right thing, I promise you I'll let you know.
He turns to Gribbs and gives him a soft half smile and a nod. Like a humble.
For what it's worth, we can look for our lost gods together and maybe see how they can be brought back to us.
Tanner, you saved my life. I owe you one, my man. I'll help you on this.
smiles down at Ember. Does that make you in my service?
Well, we'll get to the deal later, but yeah, I guess it does.
Guys, since we've been talking about loose ends, like we've spilled tea and quite a few things. Can we talk a little bit about the rekindling?
What?
Rekindling?
Yeah, like what happened in the caves and that
Yeah.
big elemental.
What exactly happened? I thought
The elemental itself, or the way that Derek tried to enslave it?
Yeah, but like
Huh?
Bromwell.
Oh, that. Yeah.
you tried to enslave it. You left that little detail out.
Can we not do this over and over again to me? Like, guys, really, like, I'm at wit's end here. We gotta, we're a group, right? We gotta keep a few things between us. Like,
I
Yes,
thought
honestly.
you gave me a full report, Ember.
To be fair,
Right,
I
at
think
least
he.
you called me Cinderborn that time.
I think
Miss
he had.
Mora.
I think he had the hots for it.
I was feeling real some heat in the loins for old Helides.
The loins.
I really wanted to
Same
I,
reckless behavior that you demonstrated in the menagerie.
I just thought that maybe he could be an asset.
And
Yeah,
I
you know
think
what?
you're
Fine.
an
Well,
ass.
let's tell all the secrets. Sure, all the secrets. Yes, I helped complete the ritual. Okay, I did it. You didn't kill me for releasing Senris, so you're probably not gonna kill me for this. So whatever. Yeah, I
Perhaps.
the ritual's completion.
Perhaps we
Begin
should have this conversation
gritting
by the
her
fairy
teeth.
fountain.
Yes, agreed.
Yes. I think we should.
Scraping of wood as nails claw down the table.
Lady Mora, you've met Dust, right? We all love Dust here, don't we? We should go and see
hate Dust.
Shut up,
Ember.
Ember.
I'd like to talk with you outside.
I'll just shoot Grizz or whoever it was a dirty look.
Whoops.
Do you know what, Ember?
Yep.
I think she's hitting on you.
I kind of forgot that Lady Mora was there. I was
Mouthful
like,
of
oh good, we're
bacon.
finally going to talk about this.
With a mouthful of bacon, Gracious shrugs.
I love it. Oh,
It's
yes,
just gonna
I will
be like-
follow out.
It's just gonna be like Fade to Black with the sounds of Ember in
Yeah.
pain. Yep, there it is.
Oh god. Roll me an
Which-
acrobatics
which-
or athletics check. Oh, okay. He does it again.
Does what? What's happening?
What? No, yeah, I was just doing this in the background. So we should probably wrap it up about here. You don't know what's going on in the dining room, but seems Ember's getting a right to talking to. So we'll find out next week exactly what happens. What's your AC? 13?
Oh my god.
Okay, and yeah, we'll find out.
Sucking my blood?
What? No, I don't know what you're talking about. But
Just a little snacks.
poor chap, indeed. Well, yeah, no, thanks for coming along. Thanks for watching, and we'll be
God.
live again tomorrow with the Curse Breakers. See if we can end some other piss off some other vampires in that campaign. Anyways, and then afterwards, Last Resort Company. But yes, take care. Bye.
Ah.